European DPC League here with Team Liquid and OG. You're watching Dreamleague Season 14 powered by Intel, and this series has a lot on the line. If Team Liquid wins, they are no longer possible to be eliminated from Division 1. If OG wins, they are guaranteed to go into the major, and there are so many more repercussions to all of that as well, and we're going to talk about that, of course, but later, because first we're going to talk about the draft. We're joined by BSJ. I still have Kyle and Tigov with me as well, and this draft should be very exciting, especially considering we just had a patch. Bad timing or not, Insania and No-Till, both two captains that know how to adapt on the fly. The best example is, look at that. Oh, he's jamming. Best example of Insania adapting on the fly with the squad is when you accidentally pick a hero that you mean to ban. They still almost made it work, right?
Yeah, indeed. And I gotta say, the bans don't seem that different. The patch, we damn. Liquid won the toss, by the way. They chose first pick. OG took Radiant, so OG would have selection going into the next game. Again, the Puck first pick. This is the Liquid special. Will they Crystal Maiden next as they did in the past against Viking? I don't think so. Not into Rubik.
I think the key thing is, just to touch on the patch one more time, is the changes, other than for like two heroes, Batrider, maybe Shaker, the rest is still pretty much the same, other than a quite like quality of life changes, where it's like, oh, an extra 10 seconds here, change or break here. So realistically, not too major. This, though, is the biggest change to the patch.
Oh
where
my God, No-Till, you've been watching too much EG.
I know, I love it. You know why? Because Liquid, they picked the Fury, because now guess what? The Batrider obviously isn't as strong potentially. Yeah. And then, of course, you know, OG, they love looking at NA. I think, remember that tweet between the puppy and from No-Till? He's learned about this, and now he's picked this Alchemist.
It is kind of, this is something, to be honest, OG, we talked about them breaking the game, right? This is one of their favorites to do so. You farm more gold with Alchemist than any other. So if you get to this good timing, you have a semi-free game for the first 10 minutes, you're suddenly double the net worth of your opponents. And honestly, OG have kind of abused these sorts of mechanics throughout most of their big runs throughout tournaments. Whether it's Illusions, Alchemists, or the Wisp stacking damage reduction, it's always breaking it somehow.
Brian, do you think this will be the third time we'll have a team attempt to go for the factory Alchemist build?
No, if you pick it this early, I'm under the impression it's most likely going to be carry when you're against the Nature's Prophet. But at the end of the day, I guess they're going to probably just match it up based on whether or not Nature's Prophet's a 5 or a 3. So I guess if it's a 5 Prophet, they'll likely rotate it out. They do have absolute last pick on OG, so they don't have to reveal that information until we get to the very end of the draft. The biggest thing for me about patches that I think a lot of people at home don't necessarily understand is that even if these heroes are technically worse than other heroes now, it's like, even if this hero is worse, if I've played it 50 times in the last month, I'll play it better than a hero that may be more viable now. And that's usually why it takes so much time for like pro Dota to adjust to even these small patches. I think the implications of the patch is mainly in the fact that a lot of the anti-heroes were nerfed. And you already said how Batrider getting nerfed is going to bring out Prophet. So if we bring out Prophet, we're going to maybe get a lot more heroes like Alchemist, maybe see more Troll. There's so much cascading effect of these small changes, especially when the heroes that are nerfed are ones that make it difficult to pick a large portion here.
Brian,
they actually ban the bat.
Banning the bat, though.
It's
the Monkey King. Yeah, okay.
I was going to say Monkey King might be a pick for them because it's so good against Alk and it's good against Puck. So they could either opt to ban it, or they can, I think a lot of teams, when they have second pick overall, they're using this third pick as a flex pick that can be blocking what's good against their own heroes.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
You know what's interesting to me is simply the fact that it's taken so long for Alchemist to become a hero in Europe, because in China, they love to pick Alchemist as a response to Puck, a hero that never really kills them throughout the entire game. So it is, again, and also a development of the kind of other regions bleeding in.
And it's also, you know, AA is just kind of not a hero anymore. I wouldn't mind seeing Liquid pick it up just because it's kind of that de facto counterpick to the Alk. But the trouble is, again, the way you're playing this hero nowadays, it's similar to a Troll in a way with a built-in stun. You know, you're buying a Battle Fury, Sanj and Yasha, maybe a BKB, maybe an upgraded Blink, AC, what have you. You just get it faster.
I will say though, Liquid's cameras, after like the Alk pick came into play, they all had this weird grin and smiles on their faces, and that was worrying alone. They've had 2 weeks
to prepare for this. Ooh,
I was hoping we'd see the Willow.
Speaking of cameras, by the way, also in case people are keeping track of OG and the monkey behind No-Till's desk and Mid1's desk, the monkey changed directions again.
Okay.
This time he's facing straight forward.
Playing against Team Liquid, you do not ban Lone Druid because you can counter it. Team Liquid, pick Lone Druid in the 4th phase. Love it.
I think the key... Go on, Brian. No, please go ahead, Brian.
I was gonna say the 2 fear mechanics with the puck. They've got 2 of them now. They've got very low cooldown from Lone Druid, and they've got the Terrorize, so really reliable ways to break the coil. Good synergy on their lineup, and you want to up the tempo when you're dealing with an Alchemist.
Yeah, I think the interesting thing for Lone Druid, of course, in lane, it's kind of a pretty free time against the heroes against. But I think the first 15 minutes of the game, when like the entirety of OG wants to collapse, that's going to be the scariest window for Liquid to play into. Just because you have like a BKB on the Alk, Monkey King naturally jumping in, potentially with like some Witchblade and some like, damage items. And that alone, Lone Druid doesn't like to take those type of fights. So it's going to be really critical that Liquid, after their strong laning phase with the heroes they have, can also set themselves up for either dodge the fight that OG looks to take, or at least take it with the correct positioning and vision. Because if they crumble in that one fight, this game can easily become one of those games where Liquid relies on the Rat and then the Furin plus Lone Druid combo, which Secret of course ran before, where Furin skips every wave, the Lone Druid Ag suddenly gets to play. But it's interesting.
It allows you to play fast. That's how you need to kill Alchemist. It's the same if you're playing against Meepo, Broodmother, Tinker, anything that requires time to come online, kill their towers. Shrink the map and make it so that if you want to have that efficient rotation, you're going to end up just feeding to this Liquid lineup. And I got to say, big fan. I think it might be a core Prophet in this spot, but I would prefer it to be Insignia's hero.
I agree.
I have a question regarding the Willow, because we have obviously seen Yapsor going for Ags first. Is that Taiga's build as well? I don't think he's played it in this DPC yet. But obviously we have seen like Taiga, one of the better Willows. I think a lot of people will remember last year, Leipzig Major, Taiga being the savior for his team when Liquid was going up against VP. Very hype moment. But I don't think he went for Ags first. I don't know if anybody does other than Yapsor.
It's highly situational in the game. If you have the correct amount of aggression, then of course you can buy it. But if the game gets a little bit dicey, then of course the Yules and some kind of repellents will be very helpful for the Willow to have entry to these big team fights. And for OG, there's Abaddon most likely position 5 out. They have a really strong lane, so this core Furin doesn't feel too good because of course Alk just free farms there. That's why I think they need an offlaner. They go for the Sand King. Sand King Willow, very potent lane, a lot of damage. But you have the
Rubik Abaddon.
Yeah, but you have the Abaddon. That's the key thing. He can mitigate the aggression from the lane and bring up the heal. That's why Abaddon Alk is so strong. And of course, Rubik has a free time in the game, stealing Burrow Strike, Terrorize.
Have we not seen Taiga play Sand King in the past, where they swapped roles, where Boxy was playing the more active hero?
Maybe could be the Liquid play here, but they're still their lane. Players might change up who's playing what, but realistically, I would expect Boxy to play the Sand King.
I would think so too. I just want to throw it out there because I know that they have switched things up in the past. So what are we looking for OG here? They've got a full minute left to decide, and they could put the Abaddon as their offlaner if they wanted to. They could put it.
I think they're leaving Alk safe lane against Sand King Willow. Both have super low armor. You should absolutely free farm if you have a 5 Abaddon behind you, because you just remove the root, you remove the Burrow Strike, and they opt to make it. It looks like an offlane Abaddon.
Yeah.
It could also be offlane Monkey mid Earth Spirit.
That
we'll
could
definitely
be.
need to see who picks what.
Yeah. Don't worry. We'll see it.
It could be offlane Rubik.
We'll see it. It could be anything.
It is.
Hold. Mid Earth Spirit. There you go.
And still, indeed, Boxy Sand King.
Well, you nerf Roid's. Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of core Earth Spirit. I think more players should be picking it. And just look how aggressive this line could be. It is an offlane Alchemist.
It is an offlane Alchemist.
No, the factory
Purge. Oh man, he's gonna be thrilled.
This is his
favorite role.
All right, Monkey King Ags is pretty sick.
Exactly. This is it. It just took both 2 teams failing with offlane Alchemist to truly understand how to do the offlane Alchemist. So maybe this time you're gonna be able to actually put the Alk in the lane of the Furion, so you have no pressure, Access Break kills. But then the Monkey King now doesn't have to rush Ags. He can now rush, a Maelstrom or any damage item. This is going to be a scary timing, or it could be terrible.
Who knows?
Who knows?
It has not been successfully. And final words, Brian. Final words.
I actually think OG is going to crush this game unless Lone Druid just completely goes off and gets like 2 or 3 early towers. I'm talking like first 10, 12 minutes. I think this Monkey King Ags is going to be absolutely insane. I think the Troll Ags is just not the same because he lacks survivability to long range control, but Monkey King just goes BKB and he's good. So I think they got this.
All right. Thank you very much, Brian.
I think these NA analysts have just taken way too much of their theories on Dota from evil geniuses. I know Alchemist was 2-0 in that Quincy Crew EG series. I don't think that that's real.
That's a carry out.
That's a different Alchemist.
Factory
That's
Alchemist is
completely
not a
different.
thing. If it is a thing, I agree. Monkey King does make a lot of sense. But it's the Liquid Lone Druid. I hate the Sand King pick. Everything else I think makes a lot of sense, but they're going to play too fast. We'll see how the mid lane goes, because that could be pretty fun.
Who's going to play too fast? Liquid is.
Liquid.
Too fast for OG.
Too fast. Too furious.
All right.
I just think that OG, they've seen others fail with the strategy. They've had time to understand how to bring it out. And Croaky himself did say it does work, but with the better heroes. And I think that maybe this could be the better hero. I also would like to see the Alk work, just so we get to talk about Alk a bit more.
I think there's one person that doesn't like to see work. I know that Purge has definitely got some choice words for that.
Here we go.
For that hero on that position 3 there. Let's head over to Moxie and Purge and hear more about that.
Oh man, the factory is open. I know how much you love this offlane Alchemist there, Purge.
Yeah, I'm being slandered a little bit. I've been critical of offlane Alk, but I love new meta developments. I've always been like that. I love theory crafting it. This is why I tried offlane Alk a bunch of times. I just felt like it didn't work very well. But like Crow pointed out, the Ags that you give to somebody has to accomplish something really good. The first time we saw it, offlane Alk I don't even think got to like a viable game, not even close to it, so we didn't get to see it. But the last game when 3-3 played it, he gave a fast Ags to a Void Spirit who also rushed an Orchid, so kind of like gave all this net worth to a guy that didn't get to utilize it. But giving an Ags for free basically to a Monkey King could do stuff if mid one does a really good job pressuring, and that is like his specialty as a hero, is to be aggressive and to get stuff done. So if they do something like a fast Ags and give it to a Monkey King, that's going to have a lot more game impact and could justify this pick and position.
Now, I know to our panel, they were discussing the fact that it feels like this Liquid draft, they move pretty fast, except for, the Lone Druid is going to take a little time. He is going to need some time to pop off, obviously, with Thompson being in the mid lane playing that Earth Spirit. Do you agree with this?
The fact that it's going to be up tempo on Liquid side?
Yes.
Is that the question? Yeah, absolutely. They have really good heroes for that, for sure. Sand King off lane kind of works well there also, just because he's got a built-in initiation, right? Like, he's not going to be as tanky as most offlaners are, but if you do engage in fights early, he's pretty much always ready to go. There are issues in laning, of course. His armor is relatively low, but looks like he's going to match up against Monkey King, so as long as they keep control of sentries, he should be able to just hide under Sandstorm and get his levels.
All right, well, not the most common thing that we see over in the mid lane, right, with the Earth Spirit versus the Puck.
Yeah, it isn't. It's not uncommon for Thompson to do this. It's just been a while since they did it regularly. But basically, you get lots of levels, and your early fights and engagements end up being pretty effective. So the top lane is going to be Alchemist versus the Nature's Prophet and Lone Druid. A lot of summons to run at Alchemist and deal damage there so far. But they've done a good job on OG side to reflect a lot of damage back towards their opponents.
Yeah, it feels like Koifa definitely is going to have to chew through some of that regen there. Took a decent chunk of damage. And then the bottom lane, and we're also seeing that No-Tail was just running nonstop over at Taiga. Not much that he could really do with having that Bramble Maze level 1. So.
Yep. He's got boots of speed as well, so burning regen away from Dark Willow is really effective.
Boy,
He's
top
going
lane.
for some dive here. Oh, he gets him.
He does manage to actually be right next on Koifa, though. Be all right. It's a bit
so
easier.
Going for the stun at level 2. He is going to have mana issues as a result of this, but it gives you a slightly better chance to get a kill, which is obviously good, and there's no more regen left in this lane for the Liquid side, so they could get a kill maybe. We'll see.
Rough. They'll turn back around here on the bottom lane, though, trying to get the Jingu off. Mid one will be able to get it. Courier, in the meanwhile, does get taken down by Insania. The little skirmish is breaking out all over the map here.
Yeah. It's going to be a lot of high action for sure. The one lane maybe I don't expect to kill is I don't think Earth Spirit can kill Puck probably, but maybe Puck can kill Earth Spirit, but the other lanes are just constantly going to be fighting because if they don't zone out Alchemist a bit, he's going to pick up Regal's Greed. He's going to start accelerating his farm. He's queued up Bracer and Urn. Very similar build to what we saw 3-3 go. He went, I believe, Urn into AFK jungling. I don't remember if he got the Bracer or not, but yeah, I'm definitely going to keep an eye on Seb does this game.
I mean, you say that the Earth Spirit shouldn't get a kill on Puck, but I mean, it is Thompson. We've He's kind of the person to go and run this mid.
Yeah, I mean, if it happens, it's going to be like they're both almost killing each other, and Thompson ekes out a win, I feel like. But if he, like, it's not like he can out-harass Puck here, you know? Like, Puck has escape opportunities, and yeah, Thompson can chase, but I just feel like Puck should be able to get out of this danger most of the... But with his quick levels, and we'll see his impact start to be really big, especially against when he ends up ganking somebody like Lone Druid early on. He can get on top of him, can do a ton of magic damage, and possibly get those pickoffs really easy.
Yeah, and I think we'll start to see a lot more action coming out once the 4-minute runes appear. Usually you'll see the supports making their rotations, making sure to go and secure that for the mid, or just take it off the map. But that can really turn the tide, depending.
Another little fight at the bottom mid with some damage here.
He looks fine, though. I mean, he's got a low Taiga. Mid one's chasing him. He does have the salve, though, but that's still going to be our first bless in the top lane. They make the plays over here onto Saksa. He'll be the next one to go down, and Insania's going to have to trade a couple hits here with Seb, but when he's got his minions, his little tree babies there, it's going to be a little bit harder for Seb.
Alchemist hasn't skilled Grievel's Greed yet, which is fine. I mean, he's going to be able to trade better. With this many summons, he really does need better Acid Spray, just deal more damage, lower the minus armor, that kind of thing. But yeah, there goes 2 mangoes he brought himself and an Urn of Shadows that'll help offset some of the mana issues. And if he's not like consistently last hitting enemies, skipping Grievel's Greed is really not a deal.
And we had a bottle refill over in the mid lane. Nice service there for Mr. Thompson. But bottom lane still just trading back and forth here with mid one. Again, he loves being super aggressive early, and this is definitely a good combination for the two to make things happen. The roll forward, though, Thompson happily will grab himself a regen rune. Sad there.
Really nice thing about the Earth Spirit mid for sure. It's very Quap-like, Puck-like too, really, that you have a mobility skill to make it easier for you to arrive late to snag those runes. One interesting thing, Boxy didn't end up going Sandstorm at all, but No-Tail came to lane with 2 sentries. He knew the game here. If he goes for Sandstorm, they would be able to help contest those, and as a result, he's going for Caustic Finale instead to try to be a little bit better at battling and offset the fact that they're...
Ooh, top lane, yeah, Insania is taking a bath over here with all of that lovely acid on the ground, but Seb also needing to be a little bit careful. Koifa pushed back now by Saksa.
That wasn't bad, actually. It looked pretty good there for Liquid, but when Koifa ran into the acid spray, he started having a lot of trouble. He's got really low armor on Lone Druid, actually.
They're trying to hide here in the trees. They're looking to see if they can find them. Koifa's sitting very low. They toss out the unstable concoction, and down he goes.
2 Urn charges now. Insania's got to be careful. If he fights too much, he could definitely die here. But Acid Spray used, it's going to grab the next creep wave while they're waiting for Lone Druid to respawn. And so far, so good in this dual lane. Yeah, they're doing a solid job against these 2 heroes, surprisingly.
Dire's top tower.
Well, bounty runes. Couple still left on the map. Those are good. Here, and you could see that the rotation over in that bottom lane to go and pick up those bounty runes did allow the Sand King to be a little bit more aggressive, did go for that point Sandstorm, trying to put a little pressure, knowing that No-Tail wasn't there with us.
So interesting development here for the Alchemist off lane. He went bottle after Urn to help offset his major mana issues. This is a decent solution. Urn alone is going to make it hard to spam stun and acid spray consistently, but now we spent a lot of gold on these 2 items because if you don't have your spells to cast, your hero is really bad at fighting compared to other ones.
But a little bit of a skirmish coming out here in the bottom lane. They'll use the Dream Coil. Mickey trying to just run away, honestly, as Thompson drops that ultimate. Couple clicks over here onto No-Tail. They've already used that aphotic shield over onto Thompson to keep him alive. So No-Tail is going to go down. Is Thompson going to make it out, though? Because Insania also making his own rotation. But like you said, he can roll on out Autobots, and he's got himself now a double damage rune. So unfortunately, No-Tail goes down during that engagement, and they force out the teleport from the side of Liquid. So a little bit more breathing room there for Seb in the top lane.
Going pretty good for OG so far. I mean, it's not that weird for a bad end to rotate off when Monkey King has a lane advantage here against the Sand King. He's also got a sentry ready to go. They got passed over in case he does get kill potential here. Now some pressure top.
Yeah, Seb. It's a little far here, but gonna get backed up. It's gonna take a decent amount of damage though, although he does have that acid spray, and he's got his level 6, so he's more than happy to turn back around and start hitting literally everything.
So this is basically what determines heavily whether or not offlane Alchemist works, is whether or not you are going even or winning the lane. And the fact that he's ahead now is massive, because now it's very difficult for his opponents to zone him from the lane, and he gets to stick in the lane and continue to get last hits. And every other offlane Alchemist we saw the Alchemist got outlaned and were forced to go back to jungle, which is where the hero looks far worse. So if you can win the lane, either to better play or better hero matchups, then it completely changes your game, because Seb doesn't have to go jungle now. He gets to continue getting Greevil's Greed Gold in the lane, and he's going to transition this into much faster items than we've seen every other offlane Alchemist game.
Thompson rolling on underneath. He's looking for anyone left here, but Sani is already going to try to teleport out, and this tower is just... Oh, but they go and they teleport up the Sand King. They're all waiting in position here. They've got the dust. They'll jump over onto No Tail immediately, but the silence coming out here. Looks like Taiga gonna try to use that Shadow Realm, buy a little bit more time. The roll coming out though here from Thompson, as Taiga's still buying more time. He eventually does go down. Mid one joining in the top push as well. This is a very aggressive OG coming up here to this top lane. So that double damage, of course, over on Thompson. Mid one, think about doing that tree dance. He's looking for Insania. Hasn't quite managed to find him yet, but they have a good idea where he is, because he eventually shows up here. Saksa gets the lift off right back over here to mid one. He's gonna start clicking away. They'll throw out a stun just to boot, and this is looking like a dead Insania.
Putting a lot of effort trying to take this tier 1 tower, but Liquid recognizing that it's important that it stays alive. If it goes down, it's going to allow OG to be aggressive. It's going to be harder to gank heroes like Alchemist, who now switches to the safe lane, still accelerating his net worth, and he is working on an axe. Ogre Club is picked up.
Mickey. Is he gonna be able to make it out alive? They had a really nice sentry down. Dreamcoil does get used, but the Boundless lands over onto Mickey. Hop down here, coming now from the Monkey King. Mid one looking, but Insania, he teleports right back in again. Midway, he's hard to get your hands on this puck. He's just gonna be able to slough around here. So they get a nice stun off over here onto No Tail. They'll drop a sentry ward, but he's taking a lot of damage. They were trying to get that neutral creep denial, but they're not gonna get it.
Up for sure, almost killing Puck, but he gets out. Very crucially, he silenced Thompson as he started his roll. He wasn't able to put the remnant down in time.
This is looking like a dead Insania. Got the stick charge. He makes him work for it, but eventually Thompson does collect the kill, and Taiga now is forced back. Thompson throwing out the stone, sidestep coming out here from Taiga. Still sidestep, he's got his dancing shoes on. This is a tricky little fairy here. Circling around, but eventually mid one after that long chase. They're still chasing each other, as they do find a kill on Koifa in the bottom lane.
Oh, that's a massive kill there. It's level 7, doesn't have any points in Savage Roar or True Form. So once they get on top of him, yeah, he's very killable here. Seb now 3, 1, and 3 skill build, 3 points in Greevil's Greed. His farm rate is looking pretty solid. He's basically tied for top net worth. Mid one almost has his Maelstrom completed. That's not true. He's got about 1,000 gold away. But once he gets Maelstrom and an Eggs pickup, his farm rate's going to accelerate in a huge way.
Oh, and he's hunting. Oh no, he's trapped in here with mid one Insania. He's trying to find just any sort of moves that he can make, trying to run away, but mid one, yeah, those trees aren't going to help you. Look, we even get the little bit of the bounce taunt here, and down he goes.
Feels like Insania's just had heroes on top of him for the last 5 minutes. Very difficult for him to stabilize things. But I mean, their tower is still pretty healthy on the top lane, 800 HP. It's not the worst, but Liquid definitely wants to be up tempo in this match, and right now they are not looking like they're in control. Replay here.
The who's trapped the taunt. Who. Yeah, look at this. Insania's like, no, please, and mid one just gives him the old bounce, and then the smack. Look at that
Always
smile.
Having fun.
He's having a great time.
He's shaking his whole computer.
Yeah, he's laughing so hard. Oh, it's always nice to see mid one happy. I feel like he has a very wholesome smile. A Taiga down here, though. Oh, these stones right on the mark. This is not looking great for Taiga, but the teleports are coming out in mass. The roll forward coming out from Thompson. He really wants this kill, and he is going to find it, but he might have gone just perhaps a bit too far, because there are multiple heroes here. They even use the Dream Coil to boot. Boxy just using the Sandstorm. Gets the kill here. Koifa will happily collect on that, and now No Tail, not quite level 6 just yet, is converging here. They'll take down the Courier.
The big one. He's almost 6 anyways. It'll be okay. Aban will still hit 6 here, but and crucially, Arcane Rune up on Puck in that gank too, so he's still gonna have Dream Coil up pretty soon here. Tempo up here.
This is such a scrappy game. Seeing mid one being very aggressive. He's already in top lane, he's putting pressure down. Oh, but we have our first Aghanim Scepter completed.
That is actually so fast. I feel like I just looked at him and he was like 2,000 gold away, and it's just...
Well, where's the pressure on Seb at this point?
Well, it's too late, basically. The pressure that comes on Alchemist is when you beat him in lane, like the first 5 minutes. If that doesn't happen, then yes, you can farm insanely fast. All right, he does end up giving it to Monkey King, so let's see the first engagement. This is going to be huge for OG when they fight.
Such a nice present. It's always nice when you get presents. This is not looking good, though, here for Sand King, but they turn it right back around over to Thompson. They've got the Bedlam, so they'll be able to take down Thompson. They go in again. They take down mid-1 before he can even do anything here. And now Seb, he's forced to run away. Mickey taking a lot of damage. And Sanias looks like he's just going to teleport on out. As Koifa just watches from the cliff and is like, all right, they got it. They're handling it. I'm going to go back to farming.
Keep in mind, guys, that the net worth calculation comes into play for how much gold you get. So Mid1 having 9,000, almost 10,000 net worth at this point is part of the reason that Mickey got 427 gold from that kill, despite the fact that like everybody on Liquid was there. So there it is, off-lane Alchemist, guys.
Man, I have a feeling this is going to be the flip-flopping game for you, where you're going to be like, this looks really good. You should get it. This is why you don't want to buy this Moxie.
Like, he jumps in. He almost ulties. He realizes that's not going to be very good. You could basically, I mean, instantly gets ultied. They put all their magic damage on him. He died really fast there.
Yes.
But, yeah, if he's got like a BKB or something in that moment, it'd look okay. But they forced the fight a little too hard, so you can maybe blame OG's initiation in that circumstance. They can also Rosh with this. He's going to do the cheese, standing near Roshan, getting all the little clone spawns, and then this is going to end up forcing Liquid to react. That's very good with Rosh.
They know they're in the pit. This is a bit risky, in my opinion. I guess when you've got this lone druid that just wants to push the entire time, it's not the worst idea, but you have to be so careful. In fact, though, if they get this pick off over on Insania, I'm sure you're pretty happy. They jumped in, and they get the kill on Seb. No tail. Gotta just pop that ultimate here as he's just getting chunked away. They're not even going to be able to finish his road. They drop down that Wukongs, but Boxy, he's just so mobile. He can just run away. To get a steal off, though, over here on Soxa. Silence comes out. They'll be able to get the kill on Boxy now. They need to get back.
Is the ability. I mean, it should be theirs. Like, that was decent for Liquid. They kill Alchemist. Not that he has much net worth, so it wasn't probably that great in this circumstance, but... Oh, Roshan killed him? Excuse me. Okay, great for OG. Roshan killed Seb in that engagement, actually. So pretty good for OG then. They finish Rosh. They'll continue pressuring. Koifa's still farming pretty well. It's the net worth chart just looks like hard to realize anything anymore. It's all messed up because of Alk, but... All right, now mid pressure will come. Mid1 should kill this pretty quick with his clones. They will defend.
Foxy trying his best here just to clean up. Dropping the sandstorm. Got some puck illusions that they're throwing out. And they're just trying really hard to protect this tower.
Radiant's top tower is under
Very
attack.
important. When that tower dies, they're just gonna be able to... Yeah, I know, it's like...
Oh, dear.
Yeah. Power of Alchemist. It's gonna look weird. I do like how Seb's transitioning it, though. He built Medallion after giving the Ags. Now he's queuing up Blink Dagger. I've tried Blink and Medallion before, and Alk. It works pretty good, because it's going to amplify your unstable concoction damage, and it helps make unstable concoction better. But there are some weaknesses, mainly that whenever you do want to stun, you have to wait like 4 seconds to go in. And against top teams, it's going to be really difficult, because a lot of times they will react or you'll miss your stun timing. But Blink will definitely facilitate a lot. Looks like Prophet's dead over here, though.
Yeah, it looks like he's just a little too far out here. He's going to try to teleport, and they don't really have anything to go and cancel it. So, oh, nope, never mind. They did. The trees just don't last quite long enough, so Insania falls.
That level 1 Sprout, only 3-second duration, but good by OG to have that's already Sentry'd and dewarded. Sentry and warded, that is. It's very common for Prophets to TP on that cliff there and to ward down, so kill. Boxy, kind of interesting items too. We went Boots of Travel with Hood here. Kind of opting for the I'm gonna walk in and stun them method, basically. Now he's going Eternal Shroud. So his whole goal here is to just get tanky and to stand and defend towers. Because if they fight into him, he's gonna start getting 20% lifesteal from his sandstorm damage, which is gonna give him, 25 to 30 HP per hero once he hits level 15, especially.
Well, he does kind of have to be that tanky person on the map right now, though. The bear and Lone Druid. They will tank up quite a bit, but it's going to be a little bit longer before that's happening. But I guess when you have so many initiators, right, that you can really afford to be doing that and don't have to worry about the blink.
Yeah, you can. So basically, OG needs to take the tier 1 tower. The one downside of their lineup right now is that they very much have like a 1-core lineup because Alk is not going semi-carry, and Earth Spirit is not really going to transition as rapidly either. So if Liquid Death Ball's okay and gets relatively farmed, their damage is going to be a little bit more diversified, and therefore they just need to like deal with Monkey King at the start of the fight if possible. They don't have like the best chain stuns, but like Burrow Strike into Terrorize, for example, is a great way to like kill a core hero that has a... Monkey King doesn't have one just yet though, still working on it, but they want to take this tower.
They did pick up a blink over on the Alk now. Boxy showing himself. Actually has to be very, very careful. Throw down the stun. Burrow striking away. Must slow down Boxy. They have the silence. Taiga, though, rearing up here does get the fear off, but not going to be enough because they still find that kill.
Doesn't quite get on time, and now the tower's almost for sure dead. So even without Alk in the area, he is playing with the team now with his Blink Dagger ready to go and a DD cover. One other cool thing about the offlane Alk, you can get the potion from the Aghanim Shard. A nice Dispel will be really useful against like Bramble Maze or just amping up Monkey King when he ends up going high ground later on. So things are looking okay for OG.
True. Ooh, Koifa. The bear spotting everyone here.
If he got spotted there, he still had like 4 seconds till he got stunned, so it wasn't that dangerous.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Man, Rubik just loves Burrow Strike. It is such a good spell for him to steal.
Burrow Strike is like one of the best abilities in ability drafts, meaning that it is like by its skill itself, by far one of the best abilities you can steal. Plus he gets cast range on it, and it does more damage. It's like the best ability to steal. Other than like Fissure maybe.
Well, Fissure's got changed around a little bit. It's still pretty gosh darn good.
They're both excellent.
Yeah. Definitely rivaling a little bit, but they do finally take down the mid tower while this is going on, so that opens up the map quite a bit here now for OG. Feels like we haven't seen Koifa at all, right? He's just been busy farming, hasn't been showing up to these engagements. He's got to hit a certain threshold.
It's going lots of minus armor this game, which will be pretty effective against most of the heroes on OG. The Monkey King's going to have decent armor, obviously, but the rest of the heroes pretty vulnerable to minus armor. And it looks like they are finally looking to fight. They pop a smoke on the liquid side and they're moving over. Protect their tier 2.
Quite a few BKBs going to be delivered soon to the side of OG, but they're looking.
Oh, I see Thompson.
Radiant's top tower is
Tower
under
goes
attack.
down. Gonna back off here. Feels like they are. I can see the teleports are going up to the top lane now. Insania. Oh, Insania. They always know where you are. They always see you. They're all forward. The stun. Now he's down, but maybe they can make something happen over here. Mid one. He does have the double damage, though. I don't think you want to fight into this. Especially, it's just very awkward positioning, although Boxy going around the other side. He's hoping maybe he can get the jump. Instead, they do spot out Thompson, so they'll go. They use the Dream Coin, but he's got the BKB that just finished, has just been delivered here. So this is not looking great for Mickey. Yule's coming out here, trying to buy enough time, but he's gonna go down.
Perfect stun there by mid one.
The Thompson perhaps go a bit too far, though. A lot of damage coming out from the side of Liquid, and they'll take advantage of that dive. They'll kill him, but they'll find the kill on Boxy, and it looks like they'll take down Taiga too.
Well, that's a convincing fight win. That was basically Thompson rolling in, silencing on a couple important heroes. Sand King had to delay his initiation, and they put their opponents on the back foot. Like, Monkey King had already used his ulti, he'd already used his BKB, I believe, but it didn't matter at that point. Just getting straightforward for Liquid to be taken apart in these fights. This net worth advantage.
Koifa, they're on the bear forward here, trying to just get some of these creeps out of the way. But the tower is, of course, just getting chonked down.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
I think they'll respect it. They'll back off. Side of OG.
It feels like basically the reason OG is winning from my perspective is the fast tags on Monkey King gives them so much for being able to pressure towers here. Another kill gonna happen again.
Oh, Insania. God, every time he shows, he is just always dead.
Yeah, he does get killed a lot. But basically it gives them they gave them Roche capabilities that they wouldn't have had. You know, I'm just gonna stop talking. There's always fights.
There are indeed always fights happening. There it is. Okay, well, they'll try to fight here over onto mid one, but they do have the detection here, so Boxy will fall. He's looking for more, though. He's chasing after Taiga. Does have the Shadow Realm, though. Looks like he's gonna be fine. Drops a couple more of those monkeys on his way, passing out.
No fights for a moment. Yeah,
There's a bow just on the ground there. Is anybody gonna pick that up? They're just gonna litter? Hello? No tail?
Oh,
There we go. All right.
trying to figure out who wants it. Yeah, they helped them accelerate the game. That Roche was insanely fast, obviously. His ability to solo take towers is huge, and not only does he have the clones, but they also deal an impressive amount of damage having the Maelstroms. So putting these two items together is really like made Mid One a much more formidable hero. But ultimately, winning the lanes was the key to it. That gave Seb more net worth than normal and helped him channel the Ags into the monkey faster. Like basically, Mid One won his lane convincingly, and he got an Ags, and Seb won his lane also. Like either of those two lanes, I think had to go bad. OG for Liquid to have a much better game, but unfortunately, they like went slightly negative or weak in two of those lanes. And
I mean, the game's not over yet. And there's still a possibility here for Liquid. Purge is just nervous. He doesn't want to see the Alchemist win here.
I mean, I like I said, I think it's cool, but it's definitely kind of situational.
Well, I mean, OG is one of those teams that if anyone's going to make it happen, it's probably going to be them or Secret. But they'll jump over onto Seb and isolate him from the rest of the team, take advantage of it.
There's their perfect initiative. Burrow Strike into Sable follow-up, basically. That was silence. But in the meantime, more towers dying. SNY's up on Monkey King now to reduce any disable. It does affect him. Increases movement speed. All this good stuff. Regen. Just going Scotty next.
Oh, they spot out Mid One. Immediately find the stun follow-up, though, from Boxy as they go and they get the Fade Bolt off. Mid One with the BKB chasing after the bear here. Koifa just dragging it out. Taiga over on the back lines. They've already popped the BKB over onto Thompson. Boxy trying to find this opening here. Does have to be careful. Finds a Burrow Strike over onto Mid One. They'll follow up with the Terrorize. It'll hold them into place with the Dream Coil. And they go through. No, Mid One, he's too powerful. They get the kill on Taiga. They take down Boxy and Koifa Saksa. Coming in here, Mickey needs to be so careful. Does go backwards, but it doesn't matter. It's a triple kill.
Looked pretty darn good there for Liquid. They were able to waste Monkey King's ultimate. They reinitiated, but unfortunately the split from OG was just too effective. Watch Boxy. He's looking to line up at least two heroes here on the Burrow Strike. He only catches one. It looks bad for him. The Terrorize is perfect with the Dream Coil. It's going to break only on one of them, though. It ran out pretty quick, the Terrorize, on the Monkey King, and he ends up just having too much damage, and No Tail keeps him alive on the back line. The shields and heals.
God, that stolen Waning Rift did so much, too, coming out from Saksa.
Silence is real good with a lot of these heroes.
It is, and it didn't just get, it got nerfed, too, right?
It did. It does like 30 less damage. It's not that significant. Definitely matters a little bit, but you know.
No, silence, like you said, is very, very important. But yeah, look at this. Mid One's just a carousel over here in the Roche pit. He's like using Roshan as a maypole as he just walks around, throws down another monkey, and will just get himself an easy Aegis.
Yeah, but like that's what's so strong about this. It basically turns him into an Ursa in terms of Roche taking capability, and he had it way earlier than normal, which means that Roche hasn't had time to get strong. Since, as you guys know, Roche gets stronger slowly over time as the game progresses. So if you increase your timing that you can pressure Roche, it completely changes things in terms of how much damage you're dealing and how much tempo you can set. So just allowed OG to hit this like crazy good timing, and since then Alk's buying just team fight items, going for pipe next. Really like the choices.
Oh, it's a nice Burrow Strike opening up. Mickey jumping forward. They get that foil and they get the snap over on one. Going back in though, Insane has already got taken down by Thompson. He's not here for this fight though. They've already used the Dream Coil. They've used the Terrorize, and they managed to get the stun off over onto Boxy. Buyback now coming out from Taiga. They're not really willing to give up this whole set of racks just yet. On the side of Liquid.
Gotta be careful.
Forward again.
Alive.
They're looking. They want to try to get the jump on Mid One. Seb, though, jumping forward, stuns up the Dark Willow, but it's going to be fine. Nice Burrow Strike again. So they're tossing out as much damage as possible, but it seems very difficult to take down Mid One here as he's got a lot of healing being thrown out. Maybe they can finally take down Seb here. The roll forward, though, coming out from Thompson. Looks like Seb's going to actually be able to walk away from this engagement. Back off.
Is under attack.
Such a good job covering each other. I'm very surprised Seb didn't die there, but definitely the big danger in Alk. Sometimes you just stun yourself, and then your opponents can punish you really heavily. OG's still playing together really well.
Going back in again, they'll find the kill on No Tail. They're trying to poke here. Mid One sitting in his ultimate. And there's going to be a root over here onto Thompson. Boxy getting into the vicinity here. Thompson's going to be able to roll on out, but mid one's just man fighting here with Taiga, as Taiga does get taken down. The BKB over on mid one, helping to ensure that. And it's just scraps left and right. Thompson has a double damage. Boxy, though, going in, but over on the back lines, they've got the jump over onto Koifa. Can they finish off Thompson? No, he's got the cheese. He's going to go right back and get the kill on Boxy. Turn around over onto Seb. Koifa still alive. They're trying to man fight here with mid one. He does have that Aegis. Can they do it? Can they take him down once? Yes, they can. Can they do it a second time? Thompson, he's coming back in, still has a double damage on him. They've used a lot of their resources here, Purge. I'm not sure if they'll be able to do it again here. So they jump forward. Boxy looking for this opening. They get the stun off. They've got the epicenter, but he's stuck in the trees. He can't seem to get out. Koifa hoping that this bear is going to be able to do something. They do get the root up. Mickey still alive, trying to go and just click away. They've got the essence ring. Can they take down this monkey? It's looking like they will.
Huge.
What a hold. Thompson now running for his life. No longer has the double damage. Already used the cheese. Rolling on out. And it looks like they're going to let him walk away this time.
Very scared for Koifa there. Had to keep his bear alive because if it died there, he'd be no bear for 60 seconds, as good as dead, but balances things really well. And basically what happened was OG disengages, but they had people TP and show on the bot tier 2. And as a result, Liquid moved into an area that they had some vision in, and they were able to force a fight and take this like segmented 5v2, 5v3, getting some kills. They're still really far behind in net worth, 16k, but it does show that they can control the Monkey King. Even Sprout was really helpful there at dealing with Monkey King and preventing him from getting some crucial kills.
All right, well, Seb back up on the map. He's got his eyes on yet another Agnum Scepter. Factory is open, but Mickey and Taiga don't really want that factory to be opened just yet. Can they get enough damage off on Seb, though? Yes, they can, because they'll follow up here with Boxy, and they use that whip on himself. Seb trying to run away. It's not looking good for him as Mickey comes in hot, gets the kill. Thompson over here on the side. He is smoked up, but he doesn't want to deal with what they have.
Took some doing, but they got him. Pipe definitely giving him some tankiness, but big gold pickup there for Mickey now. 400 gold towards him. Everyone's happy. Taiga's almost got Ags himself, 600 gold away from that. Ceremonial Robe will be excellent against the enemy squad to lower the magic resistance that they have. There's quite a bit of magic coming from Liquid side, so that'll be great. And Lone Druid's almost got an AC picked up and grabs an Orb of Destruction. Perfect item for Lone Druid when he's got Deso and AC on the way. He's going to be really happy finding.
Little bit of tree time here in the top lane. Mid one and Insania just kind of dodging each other off of the side.
Mickey. It's out fine, picks up a Maelstrom. He's going phase shift, right click stuff because of his their one core lineup. They don't want to just be one core, so he's getting this hybrid right click, which will be effective. He's also queuing up Gleipnir too.
Ooh.
Very interesting for Puck.
Ooh, mid one, popping the BKB, knows that Taiga doesn't have that Shadow Realm available anymore, so they'll get a nice pick off, and they get a nice steal with the Cursed Crown.
Okay. Going Primal Spring damage. They'll split pushing across the map. These Greater Treants, not quite the terrors they were. Attacking like 40% slower now, so just isn't quite the same, but...
Something had to be done, though. They were ridiculous.
Something
Insania
needed to be done.
Oh, this tree peekaboo they got going on. Although, maybe? No, not with the Cursed Crown there, too.
Tried his best. Tried to break the trees, didn't get it. But did buy out before he died, so doesn't lose it. But yeah, mid one just doing a great job pressuring the map like you. Reads his opponents. He saw the tree spawn, so he's like, I know he's going to be over here somewhere. Ends up running into him. And that could give OG a little moment of pressure. It's a little hard for them to get grabbed, so again, Alchemist in this moment is not as safe as a lot of other heroes, but this could work.
Yeah, the setup from Soxa with the Glimmer Cape. They should be able to go get the kill onto Mickey. BKB getting popped here on Thompson. Seb getting rooted up for a moment, though. Mid one waiting patiently over here. Will go. He'll drop his ultimate. They need to go and drag them out, and they're not going to be able to box. He is going to go down.
Get the bear out at least, but this is looking rough all of a sudden. Big triple stun with Soxa's instant lift into the rolling thunder into the stun. It worked out, and now they're taking second set of racks probably.
Yeah, they're just ripping down these buildings, and it looks like they're on the hunt. The roll forward yet again. Mickey, though, buys himself some time, but the stun follow-up from mid one is almost perfect every single time. Dreamcoat gets off. Mickey, is he going to make it out? He has the Essence Ring. He's going to be fine. They go. They're going to try to see if they get the snap. They get the snap off. Over on several here, but Taiga, he's not looking too healthy. Koifa also having to run. They'll get Seb. Taiga also goes down. Can they get anything else with it? Wrath of Nature popping off here.
They definitely don't want to force anything if they don't have to right now. They're still down 2 heroes. A lot of team fight control. Yeah, I think it's just a second rack, so no problem for OG. We'll see if they go for a third one. I assume they'll slow things down at the moment.
I don't know, mid one's looking. I felt like he was considering if anybody came close enough there, he was ready to dive back on in again.
Yeah. I think the big difference maker now is that mid one's picked up his Eye of Scotty now, so he's getting a huge slow against the lone druid bear. The bear felt a lot less mobile in that last fight. His net worth is insane. 25,000 net worth here. It's not like, keep in mind, 4K of this was only Alk, so he's just been playing really good ever since getting this net worth advantage. Being able to artificially, effectively inflate his net worth is just giving him so much control over the game. Really good players are going to be able to abuse this.
Well, it works out so well, right? The fact that, you know, we talked about how both the lanes went very well for mid one, and also went well for Seb. And then he is playing this hero that is just super aggressive pretty early on. So just loves to play aggressive. So I just felt like the stars aligned for this particular draft so far. Again, not saying that it's over by any means. It's definitely hard for Liquid right now, but I've seen them do a thing or two where they've surprised everybody.
Spirit's build is pretty pops, and we'll talk about it later.
Oh, but the immediate fight over here onto Boxy is just absolutely eradicated so quickly. The fear though over here onto Seb. Thompson does have that BKB. It's over though as Taiga is forced to go push them away. Seb getting chased after here by Koifa. He's got the bear. Koifa trying to get a little bit of space here, but the follow-up with a nice stun. They go and they use the Dream Coil. They snap it. The stolen Dream Coil snap looks so darn good here as Koifa. He's taking so much harass here from Thompson. Sorry, Koifa is trying to run away. Oh no, mid one jumps onto the trees. He's gonna jump right back down again, and down goes Koifa.
Really hard for Liquid to fight when Sand King is the guy that gets gone on. If he doesn't get his Sandstorm down, good luck. But they keep doing these instant lifts. Soxa jumping in, lifting him. They have disable follow-up consistently, and it's making it way too hard for him to survive. If he's playing maybe a tankier hero, this is a little different, but it's either got to initiate or not get initiated on.
God, did you see the way that mid one was hunting Mickey there? That was very scary. The way that Soxa and Thompson are also just lining up all of these initiations is absolutely... It is so hard for Boxy because it's so important for him. Although they do manage to jump here onto the Alchemist, but look at this. Mid one is going to be able to follow up here. And there's a bit of damage coming out from Boxy, but not nearly enough. So Taiga goes down. They've got Dust. Boxy off in the corner, doesn't quite manage to land it. Got to be feeling very spoopy right now. We get the Abyssal Blade picked up now for Thompson. This is going to be the last set of buildings here. The left from Soxa. He's got the stolen Dream Coil. Puck trying to just buy a little bit more time. He's right on the edge here. He's going to go try to hide. Not going to be able to land those stuns this time around, although Thompson, he was looking for it. He was hoping he could grab it. Look back to reinitiate here. They don't have the Dark Willow for another 17 seconds. Boxy doesn't have that ultimate either. No epicenter available. Try to push back mid one here. Managed to do a little bit, but they have to be so incredibly careful the way that they approach this. Initiation here coming out from Box. He's got the spider legs, but there it is. There's that Abyssal Blade we talked about. They immediately lift up and they'll take out Boxy. No buyback on the Sand King. It's a really nice Dream Coil. They do manage to get the snap off with the Terrorize. They'll be able to take down Thompson. Mid one though, he's still perfectly fine here as he goes. He drops the ultimate Koifa. He's totally alone. He doesn't have anybody else over this corner just yet, but Boxy coming right back in again. Buys back, has the spider legs. They'll jump over onto back lines. They've spotted out Soxa. They'll be able to get the kill on the Rubik. Who else can they grab? It's looking like No Tail also next to Fall. Can they grab anyone else? Look at Mickey. He's hunting. He wants Sub. They don't see him at the tree line though. He's gonna be able to blink up and go and teleport away. Oh, Bear, does it spot him? No, he doesn't.
Okay, I mean, they did get Megas, but they got some return kills. So a little time on the map, they can take Roche with this at least, and Insane is going to pressure the tier 2s. That opens up shrines. They can probably backdoor to mid tier 1. So this is a decent moment for them, despite the fact that they've been mega creeped here. Yeah, the refresher shard, no ags for them, unfortunately, but could be good. They're buying back. They want to contest it.
They have a double damage on Monkey King too. And Sania throwing out the sprouts a little late. They know that he's over there though. They'll drop the Bramble Maze. Mid one waiting patiently, has a Glimmer Cave down. They do have a sentry. They spot out Taiga almost immediately though with the stun. They'll take down the Dark Willow. This is not looking great for Box. He's got his own Dust though. Spider legs coming out. They'll turn back around. Can they get the kill over here onto Soxa? There is a fight going on the other side of the pit. So yes, they'll take down Soxa. And Sania was getting jumped out over here by Seb, but they have so many trees. They're just going to hold them all into place. This is not looking good for the out. He is going to go down and rush out, not gonna help. They fall with a beautiful burrow strike. Mid one, he's got the BKB, he's trying to man fight, he can't do it. He's dead. And this push belongs to Liquid.
I get that they didn't want to give us the enemy team, but this is a dieback for Soxa here. They ended up killing the Monkey King, getting some net worth relief here. And yeah, they do have to deal with mega creeps, but I mean, Insania can summon 2 of his own every 8 seconds. So I mean, maybe it's not that bad. They're having some push issues. Taiga trying to slow things down top, but he is not the best split pusher. So they're definitely having some struggles here. Game's not over.
The game is never over when you're playing against Liquid. Let's be really honest here, Purge.
True.
That's why they're such a fun team to watch. Like, both of these teams are just excellent teams to watch.
Maelstrom's up on Insania as well, getting close to Mjolnir, so that'll give him a lot of ability to split push side lanes. Downside, obviously, is he has to commit his hero to it. And Sand King also really good at split pushing side lanes, so they definitely have some lane pushers here. I love the refresher shot on Quakefoe is excellent.
I mean, BSJ has said this the entire DPC. He felt like this is the meta where you have to have lane shove. And if you don't have lane shove, you're in a lot of trouble.
Certainly is the case when mega creeps are on the map as well. You're definitely right about that. All right, they're pressuring the lane. Lanes are pretty pushed up.
Bonk, bonk goes the bear here.
We got an Ags just now, I think. Oh, they gave it to Notel. Okay, Ags from Seb towards Notel. He can turn on his ulti. He's just going to start power healing his whole team. Every time they take 525 damage, they get a miscoil. He also got the miscoil talent. So yeah, if they take 500 damage, they get healed for 300. That's pretty good.
It's excellent. It's going to allow them to survive longer in these fights. 10k net worth lead at about 38 minutes or so into the game. A lot of action this time. Enjoying the smoke coming out from the side of Liquid. Standing up in the tree. They're looking for the opening. Be able to go. They jump over onto top. He's fairly tanky though, but the immediate follow-up here coming out from OG. This big one leaps on in, finds the opening. They'll go. They'll take down that Aegis. Over on the back lines though, you can see that this is not looking great from Quakefoe as he's trying to just get away the bear. Going and just sending out the fear. Jump forward again, coming out from Boxies. He lands over onto 3 tops, and though with the kickback over onto Quakefoe. They'll follow up. Can they take down the Sand King? They're jumping after Insania as well. As he goes, he throws up the trees. Is it going to be enough though? No, he's going to fall. Now Boxies just left behind. Nice terrorize though coming out from Taiga. They'll find the kill onto tops and No Tail. He's now all alone, and there's so many dangerous things in these woods you don't want to have to deal with. He also will fall.
That's pretty big. 3 dead heroes, no buyback. They bought back on Taiga, but other than that, it was just Aegis on Puck that got burned at the start of the fight. So they got to push out lanes again. Certainly going to cause them some issues here, but not looking too bad.
I mean, they did end up having to use the cheese over on Boxy, but I mean, he's so integral to this part. Like, you can't have a fight without him. And he's very important being able to shut out the lanes as well.
4 items, almost Abyssal Blade on the Lone Druid too. All the bounties except for 1 going to the Dire side as well, so it's not going to accelerate step quite as this is the fast. This is one of the downsides as well to Elk, is like once you start losing map control, your items just don't come nearly as fast. If you have net worth advantage, you keep getting all the bounty runes. It's like you just get free massive items for your team. But with Liquid winning these fights like this game can absolutely be won by them. They're only at a 10k disadvantage the last 2 fights, last 3 fights, has just given them a lot of net worth that they can use to push out waves and win these engagements against the solo core lineup. Like Thompson just can't do as much as a core Earth Spirit. He's bought these like fighting skills and items. He's got Abyssal Blade for himself here, which is great for trying to lock down the important heroes to burst on like Puck with chain stuns. But if they keep those heroes alive, it's a little hard for OG to win once if they don't all get engaged in the Monkey King ulti.
Well, I mean, our observers were showing us the probability win rate. I don't really said 6%. Oh, 5% now for the Dire. But Liquid is one of those teams, to steal a favorite phrase of mine, never tell me the odds. Because
I think it's higher than 5, honestly. I think it's got to be higher than 5. I'd say like 10 or 15 at least.
Really?
Like,
all right.
Like I would have said 5, like, I don't know, before the last fight, personally. But these are top tier teams. They're going to deal with mega creeps better. They're likely to make less mistakes. I don't know. I'd say it's higher than 5. They just need to win like 8 more fights and the game's over. You know, that's it.
Hey, I mean, let's be fair, Purge. Like whenever you and I are casting, we get the plus 60-minute games. This is entirely possible.
It is. A good one for the record books.
And then
I personally, I hope Liquid wins. That way I can just say offlane Alk is still bad. That's all I care about right now. Obviously, the reason they're going to lose is it's been really effective this game.
Now, I do like the fact that Rubik has picked... Oh, hold on. Boxy spotting now. They spied mid one immediately. I'm not sure they necessarily want to take the spy, though. They go and they use that dust immediate, and they'll hold on just a little bit longer. Mickey, no, getting lifted up. This is not looking good for the Puckets. He is going to go down. KB getting burned here on mid one. Koifa's bear goes down. He is now the loneliest of druids. They follow up. Buyback coming out now from the Puck. Koifa, he's just stuck in between a rock and a hard place. Oh, no, he goes down. Taiga's getting silenced up over onto the back lines. He's trying to break some ankles here. Can he find the opening? No, he's still in the Shadow Realm. They're spending a lot of time trying to take down this. Oh, but they follow up with a beautiful epicenter and a burrow strike, but they just need more than that. Foxy trying to buy a bit more time. No, down he goes. Mickey over on the side. Now it's not looking great for Insania. They roll forward. They go. They take him down. And I guess Dota Plus is correct because it was an uphill battle. It's not going to go the way of Liquid. It is going to go the way of OG.
All right, well, congrats to them. Got a little hairy at the end, but I'm sure they still felt confident. Liquid fighting back really well the last couple engagements, but OG showing how the strat works. You do offlane Elk, you win your lane by whatever reason. Well, good play, lots of mangoes, lots of regen to stabilize them. And then after winning your lane, you channel fast eggs into a hero that can really use it.
guaranteed major in whatever shape or form. And then for Liquid, if they lose, it means they still have a chance of being eliminated or relegated to Division 2 is how we say it. We're joined by BSJ for the draft. We have Kyle Tigov here as well. And Tigov, I believe you wanted to start this one off.
Yeah, so going into game 1, Liquid chose first pick, as Kyle mentioned in the previous draft panel, and going into game 2, OG had priority, and they actually chose second pick themselves. So I feel like if you're Liquid right now, you have to be thinking about this Alchemist, simply because what happens if OG pick it again on 8, and Liquid's openings aren't prepared for that? There needs to be some respect shown towards the Alchemist.
I would like to talk to Kyle real quick because I feel like he was a bit harsh towards Boxy last game.
Okay.
So I want to present this scenario to you.
Okay.
Where you have a 4-position Willow against a 5-position Abaddon. It's like a pretty hard 1-to-1 support counter. You're laning against either Monkey King or Alchemist. So Alchemist is really nice against Core Prophet. Viper's banned out, and you have to pick an offlaner that can survive the lane with a counter support against Monkey King, or an absolute last pick that counters you. What do you pick? I feel like Liquid lost the draft before that. Go ahead.
Venomancer.
Venomancer against Abaddon?
Yeah.
How about Slaughter?
You don't really play with the Gale too much, or you Gale after shield, and you just hit him with W's. But more importantly, I think you just kind of have to pick a ranged offlaner in that spot, because all of the melee ones that can actually contest an MK with so much sustain are already banned out.
But what if they were to pick like a carry that counters Venomancer in lane, put Monkey King mid, put Alk off lane?
Oh, you can always swap the lanes and just put the Venom mid.
Does anybody
so you just think the fact that they threw him to the wolves.
They're having a nice and it's not really.
But I think just in the meantime, we're having the replay on for last game. I think we want to have game 2 for this one, just for production. Thank you. No longer rerunning game 1. Thank you.
I just don't think you can last pick something. Sorry, Brian. Apparently they're just not listening to you, Brian. I understand.
No,
okay.
But yeah,
I just think going into this draft, it's relevant. That's the only reason I'm talking.
We're gonna have a mini conversation.
What the hell?
Sure.
Can you guys stop?
Like, you can theory craft.
Oh, the Alchemist is back! Hey! Energy! All right, so anyway, going back to it, this doesn't matter, Carl. We got more picks.
It's a good pick. You better ban the Monkey King now, and indeed they do.
And this is what I meant when OG got second pick. You know what I would like to see OG do with their moment of brilliance? Maybe, if it's a good game, suddenly put the Alchemist in the carry role. Don't put it in that offlane role. Just change up the script a little bit.
But it's going to be offlane.
I
actually think, and this is the OG staple, right? They find something a little busted, and then they lean on it. They steal the series with it.
Why not?
Yeah.
If it wins, you know.
Okay, so in that, why is it a little bit confusing then that Liquid hasn't really presented their opening to deal with this 8th or this second pick Alchemist then? Because when I see Puck, you don't play into Alchemist that well. Void Spirit, same thing. Like, you like to jump heroes and blow them up. You never do that to the Alchemist. So I'm already a bit worried that Liquid hasn't really learned from game 1, and they're still sticking to like their strategies, what they want to play, and that doesn't always help when you're playing up against, you know, kind of new iterations of how heroes are played.
They thought that the Monkey King was the problem. Brian, do you know any other heroes that would be really good with such an early Ags other than Monkey King?
I am gonna say it right now.
Yes.
Night Stalker.
Oh, that's not one.
Is there any reasoning behind that, Brian?
I think Night Stalker is very good against Puck Void Spirit, and I think his Ag Scepter is only a bad item theoretically because he can't farm it.
I just disagree solely based on the fact OG's thinking about their own draft. They're trying to get mid-ones hero to hyper carry status. They're not picking carry Night Stalker.
How is that not a hyper?
Wait, hold on.
Do you know how much damage that hero does?
But what?
I thought, you know, heroes that you normally always build an Ags on anyway, that you just want to have faster, like Zeus.
Yeah,
you know?
The key thing here is the reason why that game went so well for OG. They had a carry that with Aghanims unlocked Roshan pre-15. That Aegis gave them such a...
because it's Monkey King Ags. What?
That's the thing. That's what I'm saying, Kyle. We're saying the same thing.
It scales. It increases your farming speed. And Ags on... Like, think of it like this. Alchemist, he gets more gold out of the map. Buys this Ags. Then gets the Monkey King, who now can get more gold out of the map. Like, it unlocks the hero.
Night Stalker doesn't get more out of the map than a previous Night Stalker?
It doesn't scale exponentially the way damage and right clicks do. You can AoE a Q. That isn't...
And that's why, based off of Kyle's logic, of course, the Monkey King, Juggernaut, and Gyro, these are all 3 heroes that with Aghanims can do those things. So
I'm saying those are all going to be banned out. So we're going to, if they're going to leave this as an offlane out, we're going to have to go to the heroes that may be the
if they pick Night Stalker, Brian, I will legitimately
Please.
run around the studio.
It is no longer
Okay.
snowing. It's not as funny.
No, but okay, so I think potentially with this Beastmaster ban, it still might push the Alk into a carry role. I think Beastmaster against Alchemist is always one of those awkward matchups where the BKB piercing raw always hinders you a little bit. So that's why maybe this Alk could be flipped carry, like I said earlier.
No, I agree. It's possible.
They could just go like Oracle type save here on the next pick with the Death Prophet out.
That was a hero I expected to see Liquid. That's another thing, by the way, I think Liquid could have picked for Boxy in the offlane in the previous game. Just something that deals with Alk and is in general just a solid hero pickup. I think that the carry Alk could be possible. You bring out the Ags later, but it's a really nice item just to throw on a Death
Key
Prophet.
thing is, for carry Alk, Ags is not even kind of in question.
But it
you know?
could be.
Yeah, sure, eventually, after like 7 items that you farmed in 25 minutes and you're already,
Well, AA is insane value right now. I'm not sure if you can get away with it, but this is a dream ancient apparition game for Liquid. And I think that the hero not being thought of as good is part of the reason DP and Alk are becoming visible, because there's just too much sustain represented.
Even if the DP is 5 and the Alk is 3, like, is there still enough value for an AA? Considering the position?
That's probably why they don't want to instantly lock it in now, because of the flexibility of the hero is suddenly going from cores into they're now suddenly in that kind of supporting caster and an off-lane role.
That's why it's so tricky with this Alchemist pick, because again, you're activating the carry. He could still be the 1 position. You would really want that AA, but if you pick it too early, you just say, okay, well, you've lost the game now because this hero will just be 5k net worth, and we're gonna beat you with this
just
non-regen base.
The key thing here is Liquid has to be so careful with what they pick, because this next pick from OG most likely is going to be Thompson's hero, just so that kind of flexibility of DP Alk is unfolded in that last pick. And that's why if they pick a squishy hero, suddenly you're running into like a Thompson Tiny. If you pick a hero with no lockdown, you're going to have like an Ember or another Spirit coming into play.
Ooh.
I dig that, but into Rubik, my dad would be very upset.
Big spell, still big spell, use big spell.
His
looks
only
good on the tally.
I think Saxa's happy though.
His drafting tips almost always revolved around, can they Anti-Mage? And ban Rubik if you're going to pick Enigma.
My dad,
like,
when I was coaching Chaos, it was always we hard play Timbersaw. And my dad would text me like, pick the guy that kills trees. He's really good at that one. And we're like playing up against like Vichy Gaming, best of one lower bracket. We're like, I don't think we can.
Yeah, point being that, Liquid obviously very comfortable with the hero. I think it is excellent, but you just won't really be able to play around the black hole. It could also just be an Insania hero, which I would really like. I think.
But do you
not really into Alchemist, actually?
Okay, the key thing here is think about how OG played that first game. They had the strong lanes, they collapsed them up quickly at minute 15 with their Ags being transitioned over. Of course, maybe the Alks carry, but still, it's that pressure they apply. They have flexibility in all 3 heroes now. And for me, my only fear for Liquid is their draft is so like stagnant in the idea that they play their lanes very generically. They're not making these quick moves Void and Puck can. But they're Void and Puck who are running into a DP, a DK, and Alk. You don't kill these heroes.
Yeah,
Maybe if you outnumber them, but
I really hope it's not.
I'm a bit worried.
Puck. I'm agreeing.
Brian, I see a problem with lack of damage coming out for Team Liquid. How are they going to solve it?
Timbersaw could be the saving grace. Sorry.
I'm honestly not really sure because they have to risk the laning
I know,
issue.
but I thought Timber would be good.
Rob.
Sorry, Brian, go ahead.
Yeah, you're fine. The last game they had Nature's Prophet against Alk, and this game they just picked Enigma and Alk. It's like the same idea. You have summons that are squishy to physical damage, and so not only like you said, they do have to check this box of bringing down these tanky cores, but then I think they might just have this issue again where Alk's gonna have all the space in the world to either farm his Zags as an offlaner or hit this ridiculous timing as a carry. They can flex it since they have absolute last pick. They can put it in whatever side lane. Timbersaw is a great answer in regards to the pressure that they need to apply in the early game. And I think this is a stark contrast to last game in terms of their approach. They went with the tower pressure approach of the Lone Druid, but he doesn't lane well against Alk. You saw they kind of skipped that portion of the game. So I like this pick a lot better. And now they just need to have like a superior win condition, because Timbersaw, he basically makes space for like 15 minutes and that hero kind of sucks afterwards. So they're gonna have to make a hero that really capitalizes on that first.
It could be safe lane. It could be anybody's hero on Liquid. So it's quite nice. Can have some troubles with core Death Prophet, sure, but really great matchups against the Alk and the DK. But it works, and this is just much more of a boxy hero. I hope he's playing it.
I'd love Liquid to round out their draft with like a Razor or just something fully into just hear it out, right? So right now, look at Liquid's heroes. They're not really lane dominate. So they're going to be lane dominators, with the Timbersaw that offsets the timing of OG. It's not as comfortable as before. but I want them to be able to like double down on that aggression. We've seen how flexible they are with Void Spirit and what lane it plays, and just really collapse the map. But again, it really depends on where OG's putting this Alk and DK, because of course, if DK's now your mid, Alk's your carry, they pick an offlane. It's so hard for Liquid to pick with confidence. And you talk about a win condition, but I don't see how they secure the win conditions farm, because it's only Timber who's got like the best game right now. Everyone else is kind of awkward. So picking a strong win condition, you can't cover his farm. So you need a hero that's strong enough by himself to be able to take the fight with his team and play off of that timing, try and collapse the map.
There is no patience or no hesitation for OG for their bans, by the way. And we see Insania in a conversation with Quakefug, because the decision has not yet been made, I would imagine, to who's playing what.
Oh, they lost the game.
I know,
back. I mean,
yeah, but they look like they're pushed in a corner.
There was a pit like just at the first draft. He was so bubbly
He was so
and happy.
happy, Gab smiling in the background.
Oh my god.
2 for 2, baby!
Robson, our goal is to try and explain why heroes are
I just did.
He did before it was picked, Kyle.
And also the other thing as well, my dear, about the Razor is we saw in the lower division how no Bounty Hunter, when they were playing into a Death Row fit, potentially if it was core, he went for BKB Blade Mail, you just soak up the damage. So no, I like the fact that Liquid did double down on that. And yeah, it's really leaning into it. Thank you, Kyle.
Really good job.
What do you reckon of the? Ooh, okay, Brian, you got to go first of this.
What does Arc Warden's Ags even do now? I need to look this up.
It makes the Wraith bounce, you know.
It makes it a second spark Wraith, so it's not like an acceleration item like we saw last game with the Monkey King.
The Force Evolution.
I think Team Liquid's last 2 picks really sealed their draft here. Like, it just finished it filled in all the boxes. They have the early pressure. They have the damage later with the Razor. Razor punishes these super tanky heroes, because even though his initial burst damage isn't that great, it's like it doesn't help you to survive an extra 10 seconds if you do 0 damage and he's suddenly hitting for 400. So I think Liquid's going to have all the pace they need. They have the late game condition for the Enigma. Taiga has shown that he can absolutely carry these games. I think they're all on their comfort zone heroes. They rotated a puck to support, just like Kyle said. I like their draft a lot. I think Liquid's got this game.
Yep.
All right, thank you very much, Brian.
I agree. I'm questioning though, what will the Alk Ags on DK do? Because it doesn't take you right to Black Dragon, right? That would be the 4th level.
Exactly.
So in theory, you could do something weird. Maybe you get 12 like you get the Red Dragon faster, or Frost Dragon faster. Like, does that affect your ability to take stacks or something? Like, how strong will a level 15, 16 minute Frost Dragon be for mid one?
I'm trying to think about maybe if they just look towards giving like the Rubik, or like they activate the support in a different way. But again, it's more, I think it's just a drafting thing at this point. You're not leaning on the Ags now. It's just more, okay, we have the heroes. If we want to go Ags, we can. But, you know, it's a refreshing game.
You can give Rubik the Ags, and then he's going to steal Black Hole. You know,
yeah.
Like, you're going to be able to steal it. Saxa will steal it.
I got to say, I mean, Robson, the last 2 picks, like, they're true. Maybe just bring a coach on panel. Liquid's got this. They have 2 coaches.
And
we got one
I think everybody wants Liquid to get this, because that means we will get a 3rd game to the series, because they are 1 game down at the moment. What will happen in game 2? We're going to find out together with Moxie and Purge.
Well, it seems like OG is doing Alchemist 2 Electric Boogaloo here, but I'm not sure if that's going to be enough, Purge, because everyone seems very excited to see that Razor on him.
Yeah, we'll see if the sequel's as good as the first video. It almost never is, this first movie.
That's not true. There are some films where the second movie is even better.
Terminator.
That and Star Wars, hello? Empire Strikes Back.
Also true.
Yeah.
But we'll see how it works. Yeah, the Ags, feeding an Ags to Dragonite is kind of cool. It gives them a lot of magic resistance. That part is really, really excellent. And then free pathing, that's kind of nice too. And obviously levels up his ulti. But yeah, I kind of agree with the panel. Maybe Seb goes for a faster Blink Dagger, tries to get active, then gives Ags later on. That could be an option. Or they try to make the Ags Arc Warden be really effective too. It could give them a lot of map control if they just spam Spark Wraiths around a tower.
Well, Boxy is going to get caught here by the side of OG, but again, he is the Timber Saw. He hasn't upscaled anything just yet either, so start off with that Dragon Tail.
He's going to safe lane, so this is not...
Ooh, we're in fine form coming out here from Liquid. To be fair, OG will usually do the same thing right back. So
it was incredible how well timed that was. It's like they counted it down. They're like, okay, guys, we got to tip him at the same exact moment. Boom, 4 hits him.
Yeah, it's all about that mental warfare here, you know? OG, they're kings of that. These are the guys that go in and they're just having fun. They're laughing. You saw the way Mid 1 giggled when they saw that Arc Warden getting picked up. You gotta have a strong mental game too, Purge. I expect to see that in your coaching from now on too. Good. But yeah, we do have the Arc Warden here. It's going to be duking it out with Mickey and have a nice stat over there. Overwhelmingly picked on Radiant 14 times, 9-9 in DPC, but not ever picked up here in EU just yet.
Yeah, we'll see if it ends up working out. Lanes are going to be a bit weird. We put Dragonite against Razor, which should be pretty good for Razor since he's a melee hero that you can sap damage from. Puck versus Death Prophet will fine. No Tail not willing to trade right now, running for his life here, which is a little surprising because he's actually got way more regen than his opponent does, but not quite ready to fight yet.
Well, he's out of the Spirit Siphon turd.
And then Taiga jungling.
I feel like
Last hitting Dragonite.
a lot of the pressure is on, you know, this Arc Warden to have all that damage, right? Because you're gonna have some tanky boys coming out from the side of OG, but you know, Dragonite not really known for being able to, you know, dish out that damage.
Point. Yeah, Dragonite's damage is oftentimes he's more about initiating more so than dealing DPS. They've got some upsides, I guess. I mean, Acid Spray is still going to amplify whatever damage they're dealing. Death Prophet support often does way more damage than a typical 5 position hero does if you keep her alive with that going. So there's some damage methods that should be effective.
Man, but we're already seeing, you know, that advantage that a Razor can have against a DK. Takes a decent chunk of that damage away from him. Gonna have an easier time going for these hits here.
It's kind of cool having the Timber Saw against the Alk lane. Like BSJ pointed out in the last game, you Acid Spray creep waves, and then they can't fight you in that. But Timber can because he has an abnormally high amount of armor from reactive armor, so he doesn't care as much to deal with this. And having Timber against all these melee cores is excellent for Boxy. It's definitely one of his better heroes, so I'm sure he's going to be able to have a good game here, doing the typical Orb of Venom rundown on heroes that can't trade with you. He's doing a great job in this lane.
He's just chasing down Saxa here. Definitely a threat in this lane for sure.
Thompson
We
in
already
trouble
saw
mid.
that. Thompson getting ganged here by Taiga. The Aether Remnant drags him back in, and that's going to be our first blood. Going over to Mickey.
Quake also killing No Tail. So looked like Thompson got a little aggressive on the opposite side of the map, but Taiga moved over, got a disable off, and therefore they got the easy rundown. Arc Warden's a really slow hero. I think he's like 285. Yeah, 285 without boots. So if you do get out of position, you've got a long chase.
I do like the way that the Enigma's kind of bouncing around these two lanes and making sure that, you know, he can respond if they get a little bit too overzealous, which is something that, you know, OG does like to be very aggressive. We talked about this in the first game.
I do like to be aggressive, yeah. So moving around can definitely help win these lanes potentially. But 2 kills right now for Team Liquid. They're pretty happy with their game position, especially if they can limit a little bit the overall farm of their opponents. Seb looking like he feels like he has to go leave the lane. He's prepping to stack a jungle camp. We'll see if he gets a double stack here. Probably going to do an attack and then an Acid Spray, I guess here. But Taiga moving over stack and try to farm it. So this is where things get iffy for offlane Elk. We saw when 3Q played it, AFK jungling was still pretty quick, especially when you get Grievel's Greed and skip Unstable Concoction, and getting a Mud Golem camp is it's a lot of summons. But you know, he's not going to get the Ags nearly as fast this game, most likely, with this lane setup.
Is that going to end? I mean, we've talked about this before, the fact that, you know, in game number 1, mid 1 won the lane handedly, and then also, you know, the Alchemist had a great time. Is that going to automatically set them off as a detriment?
It absolutely should, yeah, because the Ags are going to come later. Look at the other lanes. Thompson got killed mid. His net worth, or still, last hits are still good. He's sitting at 24, and he's going to go Midas, still fine. But, I mean, look, Quakeva's just dumpstering the top lane.
He's just
killed
chasing down No Tail
twice now. Exactly, like he's got boots already. He basically knows that he can win this lane. Mid one can't out-harass him because it's a Dragonite. So, like, having Razor in this circumstance, they just pick basically 2 side lane cores that are just really good at fighting.
And the dive on here in the bottom lane for Saxa. No Tail is going to join in. Boxy does have those mangoes if necessary. He's going to Timber Chain. He's still chasing after Saxa here. Going deep into these woods. This is not looking super great here for Soxas. Boxy just slowly, just a rusty saw to the face. Not the way you want to go down as Mickey and Insania over in the mid lane trying to make the plays on tops and trying to get this kill. Are they going to be able to do it? Yes, they are. As Mickey, the final hit.
See, guys, offlane Alchemist is terrible, clearly. And that is why they're losing now. But basically Liquid just identified that they said like they're going to try to do the same Craptos again, and then they just picked the right heroes for it. They got 2 side lane cores that win their matchups pretty convincingly. They happen to get them in matchups that are very good. Having Timbersaw versus Alk is perfect. Having Razor versus an offlane DK is perfect. And they happen to kill tops in the mid lane now twice. They're winning 3 lanes. This is like a massive advantage for Liquid.
Koif is just really enjoying sapping all of that damage there from mid 1. Chases him down. Looks like they're trying to make some plays over here on Mickey, but you know, what are you going to do with a Death Prophet 5? You've got some nice silence, yes, but it's a lot more difficult, right, than compared to what they have going on the side of Liquid.
Zenny's struggling for gold and levels because of the fact that he's died twice in lane now. Just picking up a magic stick and a raindrop, it'll help him survive burst, but having a boots at this position would feel a lot better. But either way, Void Spirit hitting 6, like, yeah, you're not going to be able to kill him. The best thing you can do now is just sit behind him and be ready for the dive when it comes, because Mickey is definitely thinking about it with that DD.
You can see the way that the sports are playing. They do spot out Taiga, though, over here, so we'll be able to force him out of the jungle. But the tower goes down. Boxy taking it around a little bit before 7 minutes. Very...
He's not even sacrificing himself much here. He will get gone on, but it's a long chase. He's got boots. His opponents are half booted here.
Oh, Boxy chasing after Saxa again. He has just been bullying this poor Rubik on and off, non-stop. Down he goes. Although it does look like they're trying to make some plays. Mickey, though, with the double damage. He's sitting very low. Has to be careful. He's taking a lot. Not quite going to be enough. That Crypt Swarm not strong enough either. As Mickey, 70-something hit points. Going to be able to walk away. The Chakram is doing a lot of damage. Mickey, he's just tossing back and forth within here. Is he finally going to get punished?
Oh
no,
God.
He's not. No tail now. Looking like he's going to be in trouble. Set next to fall. If they get one more head off, and by God, they will.
Not looking good for OG, guys. That's a big loss of heroes here. They almost got Mickey, but he just min-maxes it there and stays alive. I'm sure any Liquid fan is really excited right now. That is so big.
Look
here it is again. Mickey in trouble, not looking so good. Gets the double jump, all 3 tops, and Insania blocks him about 3 times in a row. Really nice move there by Liquid to throw the game briefly, but it couldn't stop him. Mickey gets a ton of shield right there, and No Tail only having level 1 nuke really cost him there. If No Tail's level 4, 100% he dies.
And Mickey went down to 42 hit points during that whole thing and still was able to walk away. That almost looked like he's just gonna yawn.
Yeah.
I will say, yeah, Boxy is just a big threat right now. There's not a whole heck of a lot that they really can do against the Timber with their lineup at this time.
He's such a good player playing from ahead. Like, it's one of his greatest strengths, I think, as an offlane player, that if he does get these like hero matchup advantages, he knows where to go. He knows how to be aggressive. Like, just getting Thompson's HP to half is massive, because now Thompson is not going to want to play aggressive anytime soon here. And he's also shifted from the lane that was easy to kill, the safe lane tower, and he instantly goes mid. And basically his whole team can ignore him, knowing that he's ahead, knowing that he can also pressure heroes. Instead, he's now going to rotate top, because that's where OG's pressuring. He just wants to go everywhere. That's going to make it inconvenient for OG to play Dota.
Spirits Hive coming out from No Tail. Insania standing nearby. No 6 yet. No Tail looks like he's gonna fall. He's regens a decent amount, but... And over in the bottom lane, Sox is just getting chased by Mickey this entire time.
They're just rotating all
dancing back forth. Okay, maybe they get a kill on Taiga.
Taiga's super farm, though. He's already got Necro 1, and he's a 4 position hero, by the way. He's been jungling. His net worth is slightly higher than Arc Wardens. It's almost the same as Dragon Knights. And everybody else on Liquid side is massively ahead. So this is still looking excellent for Liquid.
Oh,
they're basically just...
Okay, they don't have anything to interrupt that TP, so he's going to be able to teleport out, no problem, but definitely got very low with Boxy just yo-yoing of death back and forth there. Bottle refill, pressure into lane.
They'll commit to this tower now. I assume they've got Necro 1 in about 17 seconds here. And they've got smokes ready on Enigma too. They could try to smoke around, but they're just going to play it safe. They don't need to like smoke and hard commit for these engagements. They catch the Observer Ward there. That's huge. gonna make it even harder for OG to defend because they're not gonna necessarily know exactly where Liquid's heroes are. So for now, Boxy does it solo. Quakefoot gonna retreat from top, and Sox is still trying to catch up in net worth on the bot lane. Sania will get here as well. So just really easy pressure mid. No-Tail might die in the mid lane. Looking dead.
Yeah, he's getting chased here by Boxy. Just a couple of clicks. And eventually down goes No-Tail. They'll lose tops into the top lane though, but oh, the black hole coming in from Taiga. Koifa gonna be able to just kite them left and right. They get the kill on Seb. Mid one is left all alone. They have the double damage on Mickey. It's gonna be Taiga who cleans up. A disaster for OG.
The efficiency from Liquid.
They're gonna go right after Sox. He just wanted levels, guys. No, it's a a triple kill for Mickey.
The amount of map control and like efficiency they're getting on the map is insane. Taiga TP'd mid, he summoned his Eidolons, he spawned his Necro, and they destroyed mid while Timber is killing the support that tries to defend it. And in the meantime, I'm like, oh, the tower's dead. Then I look top, boom, black hole. So he puts all of his summons mid. He doesn't even need to be top to participate in that fight. And they're just consistently winning all lanes. This is like the most winning 3 lanes crap I've seen, and maybe all DPC, because it's not like they just won the laning stage. Just like they are constantly winning 3 lanes, no matter where they go.
Right into Boxy, right into Taiga. Mickey's coming in hot with that Aether Remnant, and Boxy gets himself yet another kill. You are indeed dead. Koifa's just
queued up his eggs.
Koifa has not left his lane, I'm pretty sure. He's just been allowed to do pretty much anything. He did rotate once at one point. But look at these TPs coming out immediately. Koifa, he's so fast. Sania, Waning Rift coming forward here. Doesn't have the Dream Coil for another 12 seconds. Taiga getting into position, does not have Black Hole, but of course we'll go drop that Midnight Pulse. Does a decent amount of damage. Is now Seb isolated from the rest of his team. Koifa's just dancing around here. He's walking his Alchemist over here, and he's going to be able to... No, he does get stunned up. One more hit will do the trick, and down goes Seb. It's not looking great for mid one either, as he's just getting blinked away by Puck. Sox over in the corner. They're just getting steamrolled here.
Guys, Puck is a higher level than Dragonite is right now. That's a 5 position 4. This is not good.
Tempest going down. He did get his Midas off, though. You know, efficiency.
Good for him. And then he Midas Razor by dying. Yeah. Okay.
Mickey is on the hunt, and they will not only take down the Tempest double up top, but they'll take down the original copy. And this one, his hand Midas is not on cooldown. Passive Midas feels bad.
I think the strategy is really effectively dismantled this game. Like, I think what was kind of crucial about OG last game was that Monkey King as an eggs pickup, really effective, right? But Monkey King also is a lane winner,
right? And
that's what was crucial here. Their Ags potential heroes here are not like crazy lane winners, and they're not as flexible as a Monkey King is. So OG just had the better draft for the strategy in game 1. Game 2 heavily punished by Liquid's reaction picks.
Oh dear, Soxa already just gets drawn right back in. They'll go the easy exorcism, but they're just not doing much damage over here, as Boxy, of course, can just go Timber Chain away. The Ghosts are doing a decent amount, though. Are they finally going to be able to take down Boxy? Yes, they do. We'll go back in again. Koifa dancing around. No-Tail still chasing after Dream Coil, coming up over onto the back line. So they take down mid 1. And now No-Tail trying to just get as much damage with these ghostly ladies as possible, so he doesn't go down, but he does fall. And now Seb getting chased behind the tier 2. The GG gets called. OG, they've had enough. As Liquid figures it out, Mickey gets the rampage. And this is, you know, one of the strengths of Liquid, I feel, is that they're very quick on the uptake curve.
Really, they equalized it out. They made the strat look bad, and that is the weakness of offlane Alec right there. If you
relegation still very much an option from Division 1, at least for Team Liquid. And they also still have a chance to make it to the major, depending on scenarios, but they also still have to win. Let's find out what's going to happen, though, because we have the decider game. It is 1-1 with Liquid and OG. We have BSJ on the big screen, Kyle and Tigov here with me as well, and they can't wait to start talking about the draft that is looking the same, T.
Yeah, so again, the key thing here is now Liquid coming into Game 3. They chose second pick, so the first time we're going to be seeing them in that second pick of the series, and they're going to still keep that morphling within the first phase of bans. But of course, OG now has to push the Nixon to their side of bans because Liquid won't be banning that out themselves. They value this puck so highly, they ban it themselves, and bang! Kodo comes through. OG gets the first pick, Kodo.
Not surprised to see Coddle. This hero's been banned out games previously. Was affected by the changes slightly, but it's still effectively the same exact hero, specifically in the way that it can combo. Yeah, dig it.
What are you thinking, Brian?
I'm expecting an entirely different draft. That's one thing I'm happy about. Last game, I think this third game, we just got a best of one. We got Cheese the first game. We got the Cheese, spoiled itself in the second game. So we got Coddle, high tempo, Void Spirit, high tempo. A lot of these Spirit heroes, like all of them, they don't really benefit as much from the cooldown, at least Void Spirit and Storm, but they have so much more reach in the mid game with the extra volley of spells from the Coddle. So what it does is it gives the Coddle somebody to play around for like the first 10 or 15 minutes. And then eventually, you buff up your carry as well. So it's just, I'm worried about Liquid because the first game, the tempo that OG set was the problem. The second game, I think OG wasn't even capable of setting that tempo with their draft, but they're already looking good to do so in the first two picks.
10 seconds remaining.
Grimstroke has some flexibility, but I think it's just going to be an insane hero. So Liquid going to utilize that second pick, just try and catch enemy cores. I am a little worried. Something I've experienced in my playing days is you get to that critical game 3 and you're like, they like this side, or they like the pick that we thought was inferior. So you switch it, but you're probably less comfortable in that deciding game because of it. So, they just crushed a game where they were first pick. Now they're switching and accepting second. I just don't know.
The key difference is simply on first pick, it is harder to draft for because you need to have the strategy laid out from the start to the end. You need to understand what you're opening with and how you're going to kind of survive the draft because it feels so much harder. So second pick is very much a more comfort. And like you just mentioned, because OG wants second pick, it's even more comfortable to actually take it for the third game. Because if they were taking first pick, that's where they need to make sure they have the strategies in place to be able to deal with it. So it's a little bit easier because you react so much more when you're second pick. And of course, so far in terms of reactions, they've taken away the Earth Spirit from OG because of course Kotal Earth Spirit would be a very strong opening. Yep. And then you mentioned like the flexibility of Grim Spirit.
It's interesting though, they banned Puck over Coddle. I hope that doesn't come back to bite Liquid because while I do think Puck is still like really strong, Coddle, I'm always afraid of giving OG and Nigma specifically heroes that allow them to abuse the map. With these irreplaceable mechanics, and Coddle spooks me.
Yeah, but I think Earth Spirit also kind of mirrors that in the idea of he can equally be as present if he's in the correct position at the right time. Exactly. He can roll into a fight, TP, suddenly one stone roll, he's in another fight as well. So they kind of are awkwardly mirroring it in the fact that they can take a strong fight wherever they want to go.
Team Liquid's turn to pick.
Not much
Did
time
they just throw Alk again, or am I missing something? On the side of OG, Coddle Alk's a pretty nice combo. And they banned out the Timber Saw.
No way.
Void Spirit with a fast axe, is that as potent? No.
You just have to remember the fact that OG...
I guess Monkey King's still in the pool.
Oh my god, if they go Alchemist, there's no way they go Alchemist one.
Well, they have the final pick in the second phase, and that pick there, when your first pick, is like kind of the gotcha pick. So if it suddenly presents itself to be an out game, then for sure OG will go for it. But I think it's too early to really kind of corner them into these type of heroes. For Liquid, they need to open up their draft a little bit. Of course, they've shown most likely they're 5 and 4. Now this is their offlaner. Like, this is where OG can start trying to play around with them. Like a Monkey King pick would, of course, be very good. Against Bloodseek, you just stand still, you hold your ground, throw down Wukong.
It's going to be a really tough game for this Void Spirit to play, that's for sure. The root mechanic, or the leash rather, from the Grimstroke ulti, if he's lasted somebody, now you have a Bloodseeker who's going to rupture you every time. I like that there's a BKB piercing single target spell to synergize with the Grim, but yeah, that's an immediate Wraith King. Not surprising. This is like the go-to Bloodseeker counter. You can ignore the first rupture. You lane pretty well against him with your self-sustain.
It's also a hero that just works so well with against any big spells, right? You just tank it up. That's why Wraith King is so strong, but also the fact that he does twerk. What about you, Brian? What do you think about Wraith King?
Yeah, I think the hero is really nice against what Liquid's got going. It gets enabled in the laning stage by the Keeper of the Light. They go for the OD. I actually think Wraith King's one of the better heroes in lane if they opt to do OD off lane, just because I think the best way to counter OD is to simply shove the lane, because all of his spells are single target, annoying harass. So if you just have no creeps for him to sit behind while he's being aggressive, and they have Keeper of the Light who can nuke it out. Wraith King who can summon skeletons.
I know you're still in NA, BSJ, but you sure it's gonna be offlane OD?
Yeah, I'm saying that based on what they see so far, like Wraith King does well against it, and so I guess they're committing to Void Spirit most likely being a mid laner, but at the same time they get Rubik, and this is a really nice Rubik game so far. Bloodseeker as well as OD have some amazing spells to steal.
We've actually seen
Astral being the most notable.
Yeah, we've actually seen this OD Void Spirit matchup before, where if you time the Astral Meteor Hammer well, you can always get the Void Spirit. There's a very small window you can actually get the play off of. And I think that, yeah, like Brian mentioned, OD offlane doesn't feel as great just because of the nuke and wave clear that OG has. I think the flexibility right now Liquid's presenting is, of course, the Bloodseeker could be carrier offlane. OD, I believe, should be mid, but they can flex it still. And then OG, their response to this OD is just the Rubik, one of the best heroes against OD, because you're still in prison. And now, not only do you have your own in prison, you have your caster range, you can have this additional save. So, yeah.
The fear I would have is OG supports. Like, can you really protect them? Because there's a lot of reach on the side of Liquid, and if they can just sort of walk past the Wraith King and find these squishies in the back, they can bust open a team fight real easily.
They're playing a much more reactionary game, though. We've seen how OG in previous series, in the first game, they bring out strategy, high pace. Second game, it's very 50-50. This series, of course, they got demolished, but going to the third game, they can really change up the tempo. And right now, I just see all their heroes will stay in their lane. They'll push out the lanes, and then maybe Void Spirit will be this key hero that kind of pivots and counterplays, but they're not going to be looking to really overwhelm their opponent until they have Wraith King with an item or two, unless their off-lane pick is, also very strong.
Another game where the last round of bans are all used on offlaners. I guess not.
Should this be a Rubik mid? Is that too crazy for Thompson?
It's possible, but I think it's more likely just to Void Spirit. Trying to think of where we go for
they have a lot of reserve time, but they might eat through this to work it out, or they could just tap pick.
Just to get it out of the way, is there still a chance for Alcor? No.
Probably not.
I mean, it is pretty dope on Wraith King. That'd be pretty hilarious to see like 50 minutes into the game. I don't know how effective it would be, but
it doesn't accelerate. That's exactly what you said makes it good, right?
It doesn't sound great.
Okay. At least we covered our bases,
That's true. I wouldn't mind like a Fury or something on the lane. There's a lot more pressure to apply on the map, and a hero that moves forward. Because again, Void Spirit can make plays, and then you have the Coddle Fury and the double global, etc. I'm hearing. For Liquid or for OG?
For OG.
But
pretty cool against OG.
Is Seb gonna play it? No. Seb's not the Visage player. Generally, it's No-Tail that is
then he played
actually, yeah. They could do the same thing as that Fly No-Tail used to do, where, No-Tail just controls the little birds, and then Seb only has to control the big bird.
Is that really what they do?
Yeah. When Fly played Visage, No-Tail was in control of the little birds a lot of the times, yeah. I'm not kidding.
I had no idea about that one.
It's a fun fact.
You guys weren't watching panels, huh? When those things, when those tournaments were happening in that time.
They were a lot less interesting back then, I think.
Oh, thanks, Carl. It's so nice of you to compliment me and Brian like that.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think you were on panels around that time, weren't you?
He got knocked out pretty quick, so he jumped on the panel to start his career. That was a joke, guys. Don't worry.
Towards the end of the tournament, where all the teams that are already eliminated, they're inviting the players to participate. Yeah.
Thanks, Brian. That was the joke. Thank you for slower viewers at home.
I didn't want to say it.
So they did actually burn through all of their reserve time thinking about this. They look pretty relaxed about it, though.
Yeah, they're pretty, you know, they're like, you know what? We're going to pick a hero in like 7 seconds time. We might win the game.
There it is. It's a CK.
Wow.
What do we make of that?
So not a creep hero,
Aggressive.
but an illusion hero. And I think that was the right method because you have difficulties dealing with it on both the supports and the Bloodseeker.
Both side lanes now also have their own inbuilt sustain for the lane, Wraith King and CK. So wherever this Bloodseeker goes, be it offlane or carry, the cores inside lanes are also going to match the sustainability of the Bloodseeker that
And it's
he
also
brings.
2 mounted heroes now to go out in front of their king. So I like that.
You think Coddle's gonna go out in front?
Yeah, but also the Grimstroke and the Earthroot both have long staffs to knock the horses over or whatever they
Very
days.
balanced.
It's actually-
And OD actually. They have 3 of these long
Definitely
speary things.
not a horse-friendly game.
No, yeah.
Which is a trouble for Liquid, considering the horse logo. You know.
I won't say nay again, but I was going to lean on that one.
All right, so what do we want to see from Team Liquid? How are they going to solve the OG problem?
It's a Mickey or Koifa hero. They're giggling a bit. What is the answer? I mean, there's no Timber. I don't think you can really Slark here, but it's all, if you get a game for the Slark, he kind of just takes over. In theory, you could also put it mid because there's no hero that deals with it on the side of OG that can actually shut it down. And I want something that can hunt these supports.
Koika was laughing now.
Oh, yeah,
That's
they're
when it
all-
gets scary.
It's
When he
it's
laughs.
Wolfman, it's Lycan.
Yeah, see, you could pick up because he's laughing. It's a cheesier hero.
Yeah, it was either that or Lone Druid or something.
Yeah, you know.
When in doubt, pick Lycan.
I mean,
Liquid way.
it has worked out for some teams, but will it work out for Team Liquid, Brian?
Yeah, they don't really have any control. Yeah, they have decent AoE nukes, but there's absolutely no stuns to stop the summons from running people down. I think the pace of the game, when you combine the laning stage presence of the OD and the Bloodseeker, as well as this being most likely a mid Lycan, so his timings will come on much earlier. I like Team Liquid's draft here. I think they might be able to just sweep the map. You don't have recovery heroes all that well with the CK as well as the Void Spirit, so if they fall behind at all, OG's in trouble. They'll have to fight their way back, but I like Liquid's chances here.
Yep.
All right, thank you very much, Brian.
Yeah, totally agree. I was listening to the Capital podcast. They discussed, there's this moment where I think it was a TI qualifier game. Will was like chimed in Lycan right at the very end. They pick Lycan. He's like, oh God, what if we lose this? But they ended up crushing it with the Koifa Lycan. It's that same scenario. It's a must-win game. Pick something you're really comfortable with, and I think what BSJ said was very accurate. If you don't come out ahead in the lanes as OG, you're in huge trouble.
Yeah, well, I think for Liquid as well, it's like when they come out ahead, they need to make sure that every move is decisive. They take an objective, be it Tower or Roshan, because they eventually fall victim to how do we get through the innate tankiness of the illusion of CK and the Wraith King. So I kind of feel that Liquid, they have to execute as well as they did in game 2, because eventually OG will kind of turn back the tides and you'll be able to win this game. But
it's easier for them. You can take towers.
It's very easy.
Much easier. You can take Roche pretty easily, and you have Necrobot.
Do we feel like Team Liquid is a little bit on a timer, or is that not a thing this game?
It's
yes
like
and no.
35 to 4. Yes and no.
Great answer. I'm going to ask other people that question because this is not getting anywhere. It's time for game 3. Let's see how it's going to play out with Liquid and OG. And our commentary team will be Moxie and Purge.
Man, I don't know what happened to panel between game 2 and game 3, because game 2, they were really spot on with everything. Game 3, they're talking about pushing people over and using their horses, and I don't know, Purge. I'm just so excited that we have a game 3 here going on, and we already got some action.
Might have a first blood. Yeah, they'll get Vision of Infinite here. They've got a lot of stuns here.
Yeah.
Style, so.
They're right back in. Throw out Illuminate, and St. Aesop's a little bit longer, but they might be able to turn this around. They might be able to get a kill on No Tail, although Boxy going and throwing out that Astral Imprisonment. It's gonna have them just split off, and this is not looking great now for Mickey as he's forced to use the Fairy Fire Drops. The Blood right here still gonna go down to Thompson. He gets himself a double kill. It's looking like a great mid lane for him to start off with, but they could turn this back around. Thompson sitting at 17 hit points. He's gonna be able to survive this.
Really close. I didn't know if he was going to want to live because then he was not going to be full heal, but great salve. I'm healed up in 3 kills to start things out for OG. This is the upside to the heroes that they have. Chaos Knight has a stun. Wraith King has a stun, single target. They also had Aether Remnant on Void Spirit. It's very easy for them to kill 3 single target stuns and a little AoE. So it might hurt their laning stage a little bit. Thompson's not going to be able to last it with Resonant Pulse. They'll have to use Aether Remnant instead, which is less reliable and less effective. And mid one's also going to have a stun instead of like Vampiric Spirit or Mortal Strike. Not too weird for them.
Yeah, I think Thompson's okay with getting 2 kills right off the bat and going to lane, right?
A good exchange for sure. He's already got a full Null Talisman. He's also 200 gold towards his next Null Talismans. Definitely a decent lane.
Gonna have to duke it out here with Koifa in this mid lane. Top Insania and Soxa just going to be trading back and forth a little bit, making the breathing room for Mickey and Seb.
I'm laying this though. Insania in a little bit of a weird place because he got Swole level 1. Ton of damage.
Oh,
like
yeah.
6 HP. Oh no!
What's up? There it is. Up there.
He got fade bolted, so Salva's gone. He could have juked in the trees, but he kind of stood there. Stoxa poked his head, and I was like, yoink! Really did like a 350 damage fade. So Insania already in a tough place, not having Stroke of Fate. A little harder now. These guys stay here. And as a result, mid one's laning 1v2 against a OD and an Earth Spirit, and he looks to be in some trouble here.
Yeah, I don't know. Taiga's just going to chase him down.
He gave up. He knew he wouldn't be able to get away. There's boots on Earth Spirit already, so.
How do you feel about this? The fact that they're running this tri-lane top and leaving the Wraith King alone. Although another initiation here for a moment. The drawback over onto Insania. Seb does have that Chaos Bolt, and he will be able to collect a kill. Like, is this the play here? Obviously, the fact that Seb is going to have a difficult time, catching up if he falls behind. But leaving mid one alone and letting them get the kill.
It's a little tough because you're basically punishing a support in exchange for your core getting punished. Mid one's last hits he's only got 3 right now, so he's not doing great. But on the bright side, the OD also has kind of equally low last hits, and OD did just get some nerfs that are probably more significant than Wraith King's. Wraith King's stun is a 17-second cooldown at level 1 right now, which is going to hurt his ability to kill heroes and defend himself in the laning stage. He lost 5 movement speed, 1 armor, and he can't orb as often, only so. But he can do stuff like this. Guarantee that the banish doesn't get him.
Back here over onto mid one. Decent amount of damage being traded back and forth as they created themselves their own little mini lane off the side.
Oh, and also banish now. Astral Imprisonment costs 150 mana instead of 1. So he won't be able to do as much in the stage, but he should still be able to get his hammer around the same time.
Now, I know there's some very strong feelings on OD in the offlane. What are your personal feelings about this? Besides the fact that, of course, he did just get nerfed.
Really good at laning, for sure. Like, you have good matchup advantages, but then you get to a position where you only have AoE. It's based on your Meteor Hammer only, and then you end up falling off a lot compared to... But you can transition into, like, saving allies or setting up allies. That can work. But if you're just trying to win lane, it's really effective, for sure, in the right matchups. But it's definitely weaker. The laning stage definitely got nerfed here, so we'll see if it still feels useful.
It's a nice combination being able to throw out the Wraithfire Blast and then follow up, of course, with the Light Illuminate, and having the Chakra Magic always feels really nice.
Wraith King Skeletons, they only do 34 damage instead of 37. Really doesn't matter. It'll make a small impact on his farm level. Salve getting interrupted on Wraith King. He's got plenty of tangos though. Tops and Oni mid lane, 27 last hits. That's very high. Has killed some wolves, I'm sure. It's got to be part of it, but keep in mind he got those early kills. Got his double null talisman really fast. He's got a full bottle. See if he can get the rune. 50-50.
Going up top. The better mid player here. Even gets a kill on the wolf.
He's happy. Quick Bull just back in jungle a lot now. He's not farming that poorly either. 23 last hits on him, so everything's going fine. DK's doing really good. Seb got 25 last hits.
So Mickey's having a little bit of trouble here. Does have the wand though, or rather the stick. Heal back up. He's got Insania nearby to go and put the salve on him.
This is the lane that's going the weak. Mickey's still last hitting well, but Bloodseeker has to be careful not to die too much. I think the Wraith Band is perfect against DK. You just basically need to make sure he doesn't kill you too many times in lane. A little OD-esque.
Like a tossing out a stone here on the bottom lane. We'll just slow down No-Tail a bit, but a lot of skirmishing back and forth between these two here in this bottom lane. Thompson
Creeps together. We grabbed a bounty, nice.
He had the haste room, worked out pretty nicely for him. That's a nice filled up bottle. Roll forward over onto No-Tail, the kick back, but can't follow up with really anything beyond that.
He spent 150 mana to do a whole bunch of damage to No-Tail, so this is worth it. Making them run around like this to chase after him is time, because this is going to buy time for the Meteor Hammer to finish. And once Meteor Hammer gets finished, then we're going to see heroes start dying. Like if they banish and set up on Wraith King or Coddle can't interrupt that disable, that chain. If it goes opposite way, if they go on Coddle, yeah, Wraith King could interrupt, but it's probably only a matter of time till they get a kill because OD is over leveled here. And because he's pretty darn close to getting his 400 gold away.
Roll forward again over here onto mid one. Stone tossed out over onto No Tail. Wraith Fire Blast comes in, but Taiga's just a little bit outside of that Illuminate.
Good job pressing. They might kill Wraith King. Yeah, they banish him. Okay, never mind. He's got a 13 stick. Not enough spells just yet, but he's low.
Get off a couple pings. They know that Taiga's here. Roll forward though again over onto No Tail. They should be able to go and get this kill. Taiga's going to be able to walk away. Goes and pops his own stick. Foxy waiting does not, of course, have that Meteor Hammer just yet. He's going for the dive here. Can they punish this? Look at this. Look at all the TPs coming out. They're saying, God, why is Boxy allowed to do this? He should not be allowed as Thompson makes his rotation, gets himself a kill.
It's a nerf right there. 5 movement speed, 1 less armor. He has that kill otherwise.
Ooh, Taiga, he wants it to roll it over on mid one. And he finds it. Saksa can't get enough damage off. Oof.
Radiant's
Have the mana. I don't even know how he saw him. Did he just guess? I have no idea. That was insane.
Yeah,
No.
he must have.
Huge kill. That's gonna recover things now. Meteor Hammer very close. 75 gold to go for Boxy. And because Wraith King isn't even 6 yet, that's really terrifying. Extremely killable.
Look at this. All right, let's get the replay here. Just the roll on in. Bam! Right on him. Kicks his bones to the curb.
I don't think he had vision. He just...
Look at the smile on his face.
He just did it. That's insane. Going on No Tail on the bot lane. Damage. Probably gonna die.
Yeah, he's going to die.
Wait. Okay, yep, he did die. Yep. You're right. Fully blocked in. No escape there.
No.
For the Horseman. A rough one for Carl. He's only died twice. He's 1, 2, and 4. He's been doing okay. Bloodseeker is doing all right top. Not amazing. CK is certainly doing better. That's one really good thing for OG. Looks like CK is going to go for a fast armlet. So he's going to use this to lane control, do a lot more damage than we normally see out of CK. Keep in mind, CK off lane, not the best team fight, but he's a very good lane winner. And if you get ahead in net worth, you can be really effective.
And they have been spending so much time chasing Taiga around here. The 8th Remnant just a little bit too slow coming out from Thompson.
I love that he put a ward down before he TP'd as well. So he still got something done by being here. And Thompson also very farm this game. So that's what they're going to have to deal with on the Liquid side. But they're small net worth advantage, but I guess one solution is just to leave the lane against the OD.
Just watching the wolves in the Necro book just chomp away over at No Tail. What a hero. What a hero Lycan is, and what a item Necro book is right now. I'm surprised that. I guess we'll probably see items getting attended to a little bit later, although the top lane will go. They'll land that Inkswell. They'll take down Saksa. Zeb just having to teleport out.
It's the lane that they need to stabilize on Liquid side. They need to get Bloodseeker more. They can't let him just stay in this solo 1v1 setup. I do love that they just left the lane against Boxy on the Meteor Hammer, though. Once he completes it, they just don't play here because it's not worth it. If you just leave him by himself, here's the negative. You can't push fast. Yes, you can Meteor Hammer creep wave, but then you can't Meteor Hammer the tower. So if you just leave the lane, most offlane heroes will just AoE the next creep wave, they'll skip the creep wave, and then the tower dies relatively fast. But just leaving him here is going to buy them time to jungle and still gain some net worth without allowing him to punish his and wield his net worth advantage.
Well, they're bringing in someone, though, here in this bottom lane. They have a nice ward, though, to scout out some vision. Thompson's down. Take down a ward on the side. And already, though, you can see Boxy's just backing off here. 10-minute runes are going to be up. Thompson making his way forward here. He's going to run into Taiga and No Tail, but they have that setup here with the Meteor Hammer. Thompson, though, it's a little bit off the mark here as they'll try to put out as much damage. They get the Rupture off, though, over here on Thompson. He's sitting up high, but they have the Stone. Can they kill him fast enough? They drop the hammer. Down goes Thompson. They'll get a kill on Saksa, and now they're going to wait patiently for the next victim, and it's going to be a No Tail.
Still works out great. Awesome rotations there by Liquid, and the benefit of the OD setup is it buys you 4 seconds to initiate. Most ODs aren't actually maxing Astral Imprisonment all the way here, but Boxy goes for it. It gives them a little bit more time to rotate over, and they're barely able to punish Thompson. Huge fight, and now Liquid sitting with a Lycan on the top of the network. There's the engagements. Keep an eye on the map when the TP start. Here's the banish. Here's the meteor hammer. Instant TP from Bloodseeker. He's going to rotate over very close to the right timing, but a little off here. Ends up jumping to the left, sees the Necro units, run straight into Bloodseeker, and then the OD ulti. Barely able to kill him here. The other benefit of picking OD here is that he's playing against a Void Spirit. Void Spirit has a lot of mana, therefore he gets more mana when he banishes him back, which is ulti damage and decent setups there.
Looks like they found a kill on mid one while we were watching that replay.
Oh my god, that was without like an ult.
Had a little help from Insania.
Yeah, he didn't skill his ulti, so he didn't lose it at least, but huge that they're able to kill the enemy carry like that without too much.
Is under attack.
This is nice, though. We have Insania rotating now to the bottom lane. Taiga's also there, and there's a 3-on-3. But the teleports are coming out, actually, trying to punish Koifa. Thompson hunting through the woods, not going to be able to quite find. Drops the Aether Remedy. He's still hiding off into the trees. It's going to run forward, though. He gets spotted out by Saxa. Saxa, though, taking a lot of damage from all of these creeps. He is going to fall, but they'll be able to get themselves a return kill. Bottom lane, though, No Tail was here. He's got the blinding light. Looks like he's barely... No, that little bit of burn. We'll take him out.
A lot of it.
And a courier goes down. Koifa just happens to find it over there. God, everything is just happening.
Great gank from Koifa. Kills the support and a courier. Yeah, he died, but
okay.
Good.
Drops down the blood right. Thompson sidestepping it very nicely. They'll use the rupture. They need detection, though. The wolf still standing nearby over on the mid lane. Mid one taking a lot of damage. Yeah, again, he's just ticking down to this Earth Spirit. The damage that's coming out. He's trying to lifesteal off of it. They drop another rock. Okay, that's going to be the reincarnation. It's coming back up again. Do they go back in? Thompson, they see him. They have a sentry ward down. Liquid just backing off. They're going to respect it. Reset. Let's go back to
kind of cool there. And the rupture as well, because like while it didn't kill Void Spirit and they didn't get the detection there in time, it did buy them time to pressure mid one. I mean, they burned his ultimate, so next time they go for him, he is super vulnerable. He does not have his armlet finished yet. He's absolutely killable. He is close to it, about 200 gold to go, but it's definitely putting some good map pressure on. And they've got Lycan ulti ready to go on the top lane, so next fight is going to be hard to slow down. If they can kill Seb, this will be really big.
They're looking. They've got the wolf. They've got the Inkswell. I don't know to land, but the follow-up here coming out from Thompson. Can they go and take down Taiga fast enough? It's looking like they'll be able to find it. Over the back line, so No Tail, he's just having such a dangerous time here as he's just getting chomped away by all the summons. But over on the back line, Koifa, he does fall. No Tail still trying to play Ring Around the Rosy, trying to get away. He's like, team, please help me. Saxa, look at the damage he took just from that one Necro Book creep. But on the bottom lane, oh dear. They have found themselves a mid one, and they will take down the king.
Okay, they got him at least. I think No Tail got pretty lucky there. The summons missed a lot. Blinding Light gives a 40% miss chance. I saw like 3 or 4 attacks that got missed in a row, so that helped keep them alive. And then the fact that everybody in OG is ready to go on the Lycan. They don't have the best AoE stuns, but they have amazing single target disable. So being able to just jump on Lycan and lock him down pre-BKB is one good option. And they kill, that's 2 deaths in a row now for Quakefa. Game's pretty even at this moment.
It is pretty crazy the amount of pressure that both teams have been able to put on the position ones.
Good job, but Bloodseeker's in a better place. He should be accelerating pretty fast. He's got Blood Rage maxed out, and he has the Maelstrom, which is the best way to accelerate. You can pressure lanes, you can pressure goal. It's well positioned. The supports on the OG side are sitting fine now. Sox is level 8, as is No Tail, so they're in decent spots, but the game's pretty much wide open at the moment.
I had this feeling that game 3 was either going to be very fast or it's going to be a long one, and I have a feeling this one's going to be a bit of a long one.
Feels like right now. Obviously, Lycan's going to fall off a little bit as we go ultra late game, but kind of so will CK a little. Maybe not because his net worth is the highest in the game, though. He's almost got an Echo Saber picked up after his armlet. His damage is going to be insane, actually. Echo Saber works really good with CK at the moment. His Chaos Strike is a chance to proc, not like a hit on the first time like Wraith Kings is now. So his damage is going to be crazy good. And because all Liquid's cores are very like single target survivable, CK deals with those kinds of heroes pretty well. Doesn't have AoE, but he can kill these like high HP.
Soxa knows that they're keeping tabs on him. They do have that sentry ward, but I'm not sure he's aware of how many people are coming down here. Teleports are coming out. The silence. Taiga rolling forward. Thompson does have a double damage. He's going to try to punish Taiga for going too deep here. Mickey, the follow-up, though. Do with the rupture off the roll forward coming out from Taiga. He's absolutely fine. Boxy dropping the meteor hammer onto 2. They get the kill on Soxa, and it's looking like they'll get the kill on Thompson as well, as now Mickey just trying to man fight over here with this OD, just chalking him down. That is going to be the reincarnation, but Seb is here over onto the back lines. He's gotten Taiga down. There's going to be a lot of damage coming out. Boxy, he can't stand it. He is going to fall as Mickey tries to man fight. There's just too much here as Koifa nibbling away over on the back lines. Can he do enough damage? Will they be able to get the stun off? No, they're not going to be able to. Mid one, he's still left. No, at the last second, Insania throwing down the stroke of fate will take out mid one.
Seb carrying the game for his team here. He's even got the possessed mask, 7 strength, 7 more lifesteal here. Absolutely dumpstering that fight. It was really cool how it started though. That was Grimstroke ulti, double banish with OD, and then he drops the hammer. It hits both these guys. Watch for the Grim ulti as they go in. Insania moves forward.
Right here.
Comes the leash. There's the banish. They did it at literally the same time. And the hammer hits 2 heroes. It looks great. CK on the back line there has already beaten somebody up who I assume is going to die. Yeah, that was Quakefa losing half HP during his ulti. Seb is the problem right now, without a doubt. He is too tanky. Mickey did try to fight him, but he can't out DPS him, and Seb was going to lifesteal way too much back. So now their lack of AoE is hurting him a lot here.
Looks like they're going to try to make plays on the bottom lane again.
Bottom tower is under attack.
See, no, Tail smoked up over on the side. Seb is still here, though. It's the Wolves again, trying to get that ink swell off fast enough. It'll land on Seb. Stroke of Fate going right through the roll through, coming out from Taiga. Over onto 3. The Magnetize. Banished off, all with the meteor hammer, but the banish coming back out. Taiga, is he going to be able to roll out? No, he's not. They'll turn their attention again here over onto Seb. He's toggling very nicely, though. Needs to get some more damage out. They need to do it fast. The step does go down. They'll find a kill on Thompson, and these puppies are on the run here. They can see Soxa, and they want his blood. Down he goes. The Mickey gets a double kill, and down goes the tower.
The only reason Soxa died there was the nerf to Coddle 2 days ago. The recall took 5 seconds instead of 3. Soxa dies because of it. Impactful patches matters, guys. It's another great example, but completely different fight for the reason that Seb uses ulti. He goes in, but the difference was Liquid gets to go on him first. They burned Magnetize and all of Earth Spirit's AoE to lower the illusion health, lower the HP of Seb, and that's why they got the kill. So if Seb can pop his ulti, go hit a backline, fight somewhere else, before like Taiga goes in, they can absolutely win fights, but Taiga is the solution right now to dealing with the CK until he finishes Heart. And once he gets his Heart, it's going to be a very different game. Because one of the big advantages to Heart right now, I think this works, is that it gives a lot of regen. The regen that you get also applies to your illusions. So even though your illusions are weak to AoE damage, Heart helps offset that, not to mention giving them just a huge amount of damage and HP. So once he finishes Heart, game's going to change again here for OG, but he's only about 2,600 gold away from it. Once he gets that finished, Seb's gonna continue being a monster.
It still feels like it's so neck and neck here as well. These fights have, yeah, look at this map, my God.
Yeah.
Back and forth. So both these teams, they really want this series. Very important for Liquid here as well.
What they really need on Liquid side is an AC on like, that's certainly gonna be huge. A lot of physical damage coming from CK, from Wraith King, even a bit from Void Spirit. If they get an AC, armor for their team, minus armor against their opponents, that will certainly help them in these fights. Slow down a bit. Almost had Drum, then he died twice. Times, so AC's coming a little slower.
We are going to see the Ags very, very soon for Thompson as well, which could be very, very nice for the side of OG. Having that little bit of extra silence is always very, very useful, especially against heroes like the Grimstroke, right? Very important. They've been putting the ink swell on the Wolves most of the time because they're so speedy, and they can set up nicely with it.
Almost no threat to putting the ink swell on them. They're very likely going to pop on somebody. It's a good way to initiate. The classic combo, maybe not classic, but it's a more recently discovered one, like less than a year or two ago.
Perch. They're going for the Dark Portrait on Insania. I've been seeing this more and more, and I like it. I really like it.
It's a good game for it. Do we have a Radiance? Yeah. Wraith King's also building Radiance. So you got 2 options. You either put it on Wraith King to get a Radiance illusion that crits sometimes, or you put it on the CK, who also has incredible illusions and is building towards it. It's a great game for Dark Portrait. This makes a lot of sense.
I love it. I love it. It's going to be a bit before they reach it, but there's a haste stream picked up by Taiga. They spot out Soxa. Thompson, though, over on the low ground. So it's a little bit of a split-up fight. They get the silence off, though. Mickey backing off. Soxa still man-fighting with Taiga. There's a whole other thing going down, but they do manage to land over here onto Thompson, but it's not looking great now for Foxy, because mid one is running in fast. They drop the Aether Remnant, not going to be able to quite go and grab them. They'll turn back around. They're kiting the Wraith King very, very nicely here, as Taiga does run himself away. At these Necro Book units, they're chonking away over on the back line. They'd love to go and finish up over here onto No Tail. He's trying really hard to stay alive. And they'll just reset.
Okay, so only Rubik dies, surprisingly. A lot of spells used, though. Illusion is, or his ulti is just such a low cooldown reduction, but it's up again in 30 seconds. It's like he's just always ready to fight here. But they pick up Sox on the back line. King getting recalled to the bottom half of the map, which it's a bit safer.
I like how they had their own little 1v1 going on while everything else was happening in the river.
There was a Blood Rage too, and I thought that would be kind of impactful because they did pop Magnetize on the Rubik, but hey, good for kill, take him out of there, and that lack of disable taking Rubik out probably helped out anyways.
Closer and closer to that heart over on Chaos Knight.
Basically. No Tail going to full item too. Perseverance straight into Lincoln's Sphere. He wants to stop the disable. Whoever it goes on, Rupture or Banish, or I guess that's the big ones. Maybe Grimstroke ulti you could block, but a little hard.
Yeah.
Boxy trying to finish his BKB because he is definitely vulnerable to getting ran at right now.
I like the way Liquid's moving around the map too. They're really kind of sticking together for the most part. So if anybody gets initiated on, they can immediately respond. But that is the heart completed, and it is the fastest this patch.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I mean, we don't see CK too often. Seb won his lane, played very well so far. Only he's died one time, so yeah, he's not surprised he's got the heart at a good time.
Dire's bottom tower is under
How do you feel about the atomization over on Thompson? Because I know a lot of the times we'll tend to see the Void Spirits going for the Yules first because it's also a save and it's a setup. In this case, he opted to go for the Ags first.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously Ag's Void Spirit is very common. It's like one of the two builds, and Yules. It's nice to have Yules for sure because he can protect himself from the silence setups, but most of the silences are like, with the exception of like Earth Spirit 1, they're easy to dodge. Maybe not easy, but they're dodgeable with Dissimulate and other spells. So I think it'll be fine based on it.
See Thompson opening up. They have the Rupture with the Blood Right. Foxy making his way over here. Thompson being held in place. Need to be a little bit careful. The rolls. Nice step down over to the bottom side, but going to be able to keep dodging around. Stepping forward, they get them linked up here with the Grimstroke ulti. Double silence coming out as well. Mid one, though, has a lot of damage. Thompson, he goes down so quickly here. Nice save coming out from Fox. He's going to be able to keep him alive. Soxa goes down. Over on the side, mid one, thinking he wants to go back in again, but he's getting kited. Mickey might need a little bit of help here. Boxy, he has a BKB to go and drop the hammer. He'll get the first life of this Wraith King as now they turn right back around. Taiga roll it on out. Easy peasy. They have their eyes over here on the CK. He's a big tanky boy here, Purge. Are they going to be able to finish it up? No, Foxy, he's going to fall. And they throw out another stroke of fate. The Blood Right gets dropped as well. No Tail running for his life, but look at Mickey. He is a race car. He's just running after him. He's got the ink swell on him. Gonna turn right back around. They want this kill on Thompson. He doesn't have buyback after this because he already did. Trying to dissimulate by a little bit more time. Mid one though. Okay, Thompson goes down. Mid one. He's the only one standing right now. He's trying to run away and they just chase him down. Mickey with the ultra kill.
And it's not just Mickey there, guys. That was Taiga saving his ass multiple times. Taiga playing so aggressive, rolling into 3 huge heroes with Inkswell on. He looked super dead, but he has Ghost Scepter. He pops it, buys him time to disengage. He rolls away. Then Mickey gets in trouble, but then Taiga swings back in, punches Mickey to safety. Also kind of lucked out. He rolled through some neutral creeps. Therefore, Mickey could kill them and then re-engage with more HP. It was really sick. What a fight for Liquid. And now they get an Aegis. Even better here. Team Liquid, they're in a good spot right now. CK's starting to feel a little bit less effective, even though he is hard to kill. But importantly, Liquid's feeling like they can just kite him consistently.
And I mean, they definitely have. We're getting so close to the Aghanim Scepter over on Insania. We'll have that Dark Portrait up soon. BKB completed now here for the Bloodseeker. Liquid is playing their draft exceptionally well with the speed that they need to be doing it.
Sure. Yeah, and the items are finished basically. About 15 gold here for Grimstroke. Ags is finished on him. Hell, Soulbind, the Wraith King to the CK. Then you get 2 Dark Portraits. That would be sick too.
Oh, baby.
Why pick, you know? AC is about halfway done for Lycan. And now Bounty fights.
Taiga realizing that something feels a bit off. He's gonna roll back in again, just taking that Aether Remnant to the face. Not really too worried about it though, because he has the rest of his team standing very close.
Thompson's net worth has dropped off so hard this game. He was top for a bit there, but a couple crucial deaths, they've done a really good job of dealing with them, and it's really hard because he kind of has to be the frontliner. This is again one of the issues of not having a traditional offlane hero, is that those heroes usually stand in the front. But Wraith King is a little scared because of the mana drain. He hasn't bought a shard yet, so maybe he's not that worried. But CK is more of a counter initiator or initiator directly. Like, someone has to give the vision, and Thompson being gone at, he just has to try to stay alive. Maybe Yules would have been better with that considered, but Silence is good too. It's just they haven't quite had the right setups for him.
It's been very difficult. I mean, one of the reasons why Seb had such a nice start too, besides, you know, the fact that the laning went especially well from him, is the fact that, like, he's able to swing around these angles. Like in the bottom fight early on near the tier 1, he was able to kind of help get the pick off, and they didn't initiate on him, so he was allowed to have this free reign. But oh my gosh, there we go. We have the Assault Cuirass finish now for the Lycan. And they're hunting Seb right now. Boxy has a haste rune. Gonna find him though. Be able to stay alive here. Again, we do have Dark Portrait online for Insania. They are just trying to take over this map.
Tune up Shard wants to get those extra wolves on the map.
No. Tail, no. Run. Oh, okay, that's a good play here. Taiga spends a little bit of time on the cliff. Of course, can roll right back down again.
Perfect placement. Blinding Light to stick him there. So Alive Sentry is going to spot out the ward. Able to steal Banish with that at least, so protect his allies. Be really good if somebody gets ruptured. Just keep banishing him.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Extra cast range for the Bloodseeker. Just wants to better be able to land rupture on the right guy. And it's kind of crazy that Liquid's been in this good place in the game. They haven't even taken the mid-tier 1. Hasn't even felt like that at all. All the fights they've taken have felt pretty decently on their terms, but trying to win fights, get skirmishes, and not too worried about buildings just yet, surprisingly.
Elven Tunic up now, or found from the OD. They're chasing after Seb. We use the rupture on him, so immediately using that ultimate, the roll forward. He's got his BKB though, so he can stand and fight. Mickey with his own BKB is going to turn right back around. He's taking a decent chunk of damage as we do get on the back lines. That Soulbind gonna walk away here. Seb is just standing his ground, trying to man fight, and he's so tanky, but they have plenty of mid 1 though. Dropping the hammer coming out now from Boxy. Can they take him down? It's not looking very good. It looks like Seb does finally go down over on the lines though. Boxy, he's trying to run away. He doesn't have much help left as they find the kill over onto Thompson. The roll forward coming out from Taiga. He's looking for anybody else who's straggling around. Not gonna find it. They immediately turn and make this into a tower push. Is there still a fight going on? Are they chasing after mid 1?
A little bit. A perfect reaction from Liquid though. Instant Ghost Scepter. Like, Seb had the BKB there. He pops Ghost Scepter and Earth Spirit.
Taiga rolling right into mid 1. Stroke of Fate comes out though. Taiga, is he going to be able to survive this again? It's looking pretty damn good. The banishment comes out. The go, they'll be able to pop that reincarnation. Mickey coming right back up against Sox. That goes down. The roll forward coming out from Taiga. He's just staffing around them, dancing beautifully. They just can't get their hands on this Earth Spirit. Over there on the side, No Tail goes down mid 1. He's not going to survive this either. Mickey gets himself a double kill, and they'll get themselves yet another tower. Eventually,
there are five dead heroes on the OG side. It is looking like this game is trending towards over. Dark Portrait there on the Wraith King doing tons of damage in that fight, even killing the Keeper of the Light. And it's just, it feels almost impossible for OG to fight now. Void Spirit's trying to get a Yule Scepter, but it does kind of feel like the lack of Yules has hurt him a lot here. They interrupt the Rolling Boulder, but he's got Ghost Scepter. Dark Portrait gets made, runs around a little wacky, but picks up the Ink Swell, gets a great pop on 2 heroes. He's going to solo kill the Rubik here. Ends up guaranteeing that the Coddle goes down as well, and they are just running down Wraith King.
Now those Mjolnir procs over there with the lightning. You want them in here.
Yeah. Really good against Radiance too. Every time the Radiance ticks, it gives you a chance to get Mjolnir Reflection.
Look at the reaction.
I looked frustrated. He was like, "What are you doing, guys?" To his allies, is what it looked like to me. Pretty decent item, Cloak of Flames. I assume Elven Tunic goes to Bloodseeker. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. Make him faster, give him evasion, more attack speed, all excellent stuff.
Taiga's just playing out of his mind this game, I have to say. Oh, Seb, everywhere you are, there they are too. Inkswell connects, the rest of the team is here, and he was tanky early on, and now he just looks like paper purge.
Yep, it's only a matter of time until CK starts to feel like a weaker hero. Hard, you basically have to like take this net worth advantage and you have to just like carry it into ganks, transitioning. Like if he buys, like, and I'm not saying this is the right item build, but if he goes like Blink instead, then you can do things like ulti in darkness, blink in, jump and kill guys. But it's like, it takes a lot of resources to do this. It's a little hard to execute. And ever since then, it's just been Liquid finding decent initiations. OG just feels confident looking for these fights because they are hard to execute. Like, how do they even initiate a game?
Thompson. Oh, Thompson jumping over onto the OD. The roll forward, though, again, coming out here from Taiga. They'll stun him up, hold him into place, throw a couple hits out, and Thompson is no more.
Just getting changes.
Jeez, and now they're already pushing into the base. Mid one.
Quick was natural habitat.
Dash.
You lick your own Lycan Wolf? Oh, that's so sick.
God, mid one, he can't stand toe to toe with him. He can't stop this push.
Can't.
Look at this, they've got their dark fortune. It's just chasing after Soxa, chunking away at him.
Radiant's bottom barracks are under attack.
The roll forward again coming out from Taiga. They'll stun him up. A save coming out from Boxy for a moment. Not going to be able to roll on out this time here, Taiga. This is going to be a little bit too far out, so he does eventually fall to mid one. But they already they took a tower and they took most of the buildings here in this bottom. Just a little bit of health with 101 hit points left on that Rax.
I'll bash her up on Bloodseeker with the same attack range or attack speed, sorry. So it should be really easy for him to deal with these BKB heroes now, considering he's also got BKB. So they've just got the itemization here to offset the high HP single unit cores, the CK and the Wraith King. Bloodseeker is looking really solid here.
Scanning.
If he can, especially if he can kill one of them as this fight goes down. That last fight at the bounty rune top, he ended up killing the CK in time, got a huge heal out of it, like 1,000 HP or something. You can't win the engagement after that for OG. It's like they're going to sit back. I think they're really worried about a smoke at the moment, or they're backing themselves to smoke.
Either way, someone's smoking, right? Yeah, look at this. Yeah, it does.
Nobody smoked.
No one's smoking. All right, all right.
And they're in a great position on Liquid, but the game's not over. 7k advantage for them. They could definitely still throw this if they have a bad team fight or two. And with Blink Dagger up on Wraith King,
all right,
it can start a lot better for OG.
Here we go, Purge. Mid one showing. Everybody else is smoked up on the side of OG. They're standing on the high ground. They're baiting mid one. Boxy, very far forward here, but not taking the bait. Realize, no one's showing in any of these lanes. Might be up.
Look to other heroes to go look to see if they could find like a split pusher on the top lane, for example, but not able to catch any. But there's BKB on Lycan, so this is maybe what they're aiming for here. And curiously, Lycan also going different talents than normal. Shapeshift movement speed and the Feral Impulse Stamp. Most Lycans always go cooldown with Shapeshift duration, but he just wants the stronger damage, finally opting for the new talents. Or buff. How they want to fight.
Taiga's hunting. He's looking for whoever he can find here, and they aren't going to run into Seb. BKB immediately coming out. They also have the Rupture. Seb having to just kind of dodge around a little bit, goes and gets his ultimate off, but over on the side, BKB coming out. He's just taking too much damage. That's a 10 times kill streak. That gets taken down here. So goes, gets the Soulbind out. Boxy, his BKB has just run out. This is not looking good for the OD as he's going to get sliced apart. Over on the back lines, Taiga, he's not going to be able to roll away from this one. Thompson getting himself a nice double kill.
Way too many mistakes there. Dark Portrait gets spawned, but it's like it's like a Void Spirit and something else. So, I mean, just basically Bloodseeker just overestimating his ability to fight the CK. CK still does an insane amount of damage. He just got Blitz Knuckles too, 35 extra attack speed, and they crushed that fight. That is what they were worried about. They overreached it a little bit too hard. They have to deal with the illusions, and then the Bloodseeker is going to be fine, basically. But they kind of just like went all in right away. He got completely surrounded, and then he's trapped. Doesn't have phase boots. He went treads on Bloodseeker, so I think he just got stuck in there and had to commit. Nobody wants Aegis?
Yeah. Question mark?
Wraith King doesn't want it. CK is probably comfortable not having it.
All right, mid one. Oh, mid one. He wanted to.
They want Thompson to have it or something.
No.
All right. Thompson is.
There's wolves in there.
They need to be careful.
They get it. They get it. Why?
Why?
Okay, he was waiting for recall. I think they were waiting for Cut ulti to come up so that he could recall Thompson so Thompson could take it. Thompson was pushing the bot lane.
So greedy.
It was, but well played by Quakefa. Hangs out the wolves in the area. Here's
Oh my
Thompson
God.
way on the bot lane. He just got his ulti up. He turns it on. He starts the recall.
Oh.
And it's just too late. They can only kill one of the two wolves.
I can't believe that just happened. But yeah, good on Quakefa for sending those puppies in there.
Yeah, well done.
God, that's
It would have been funny if they timed out right before they killed the Aegis, and I could have said, the patch matters again. The Lycan Wolves only last 50 seconds instead of 50. I didn't get it, though.
I'm sorry, Purge. You're going to have to maybe find yourself a new slogan for those t-shirts. There'll be other games. There'll be more times. I'm sure you could say it again.
My new slogan is Alchemist offlane is usually bad, but not always.
That's a terrible slogan.
No? Too long?
That's way too long. Compared to like Capitalist whole thing of like, you know, Earthshaker good, Nyx Assassin, Bird Pick bad. I don't remember the other one.
OG has shown to us that Alchemist offlane is not always bad, so gotta update it.
I think we gotta work on your slogans, dude. Ever since Yellow, this is Purge. We've really gone downhill.
Long time. I got a new one.
We'll workshop it. Don't worry. We'll ask the D&D folks what they think too. Smoke coming out though from the side of OG. They're hoping that they can get themselves a nice pick off here. Snowtail's just charging at Quaifa. Immediately though, the BKB coming out. Rolling in over onto the back lines. Taiga trying to make things happen here. Gets off the magnetize. They're gonna be able to go. They take down No Tail. Mid one just ticking down. They're trying to go and kite as much as possible. BKB though coming out from Seb Boxy. He's already got his BKB up, but it's just taking so much damage. The leash comes out though over here onto the side.
God.
They do manage to take down Mickey. Now they're turning their attention over here to Boxy. Buy a little bit more time as they chomp down over on tops. And Quaifa, though, still running around. They take down Boxy. They'll chase down again. Taiga just doing so much work here. Stroke of Fate coming out. They'll take down Seb. Can they grab mid one, though? Look at Mickey. He's on race car just running over there. They need something to cancel out this TP. Never mind. They don't need anything to cancel out the TP because they're just going to take him down for his first life. They'll go back in a second time. Can they get the kill again over here on mid one? Yes, they can. Quaifa on a killing spree as Soxa hiding in the trees. He says, oh, please, God, please. No, it's just a circle of pain as down he goes in the forest. The buyback coming out now from Seb. And just Liquid running him over, going right back in again.
That's what keeps happening. Ruby keeps stealing Dark Portrait from Insania. I'm like, where are these Dark Portraits coming from? But
everybody wants to be an artist.
Bloodseeker, Mickey making a bit of a mistake again. He keeps committing to fighting these two cores with BKB on when they both have BKB on. He's not going to win those fights generally. Mjolnir's doing no damage. They just have way better physical damage and they crit. He ends up dying, but the buyback helps him come back and clean up the Wraith King, and now they get a chance to go high ground. But if Mickey does this one more time, there's going to be some issues.
Well, he's got to play this very, very carefully. They don't have Boxy to come in and save him either. So, Fortification comes out. They'll clean up the creeps real nice like, huh? Quaifa with his army is going to assail this tower.
He's got to be careful.
No Wraith King still for another 30-something, but...
CK could ulti kill him. He doesn't have BK. Oh, he did have BKB, but if he gets, I don't know, disabled some way and CK goes on him, like, he could definitely die here. So they're just going to keep the map control for now, use the Necro 3 to do some dewarding, find a sentry. We'll see if they find the ward over here on the cliff. If not, it's almost dead anyways. They want utter Roche control.
We're gonna see some more puppies in this game soon here, Purge. There is an Ags.
Oh, it's really good this game. So the biggest thing that holds Ags Lycan back from being good is that you need to have another melee core on your team. If you use it on a ranged hero, they become melee. Sniper melee, not good. I've tried it. It doesn't work.
Of course.
But a Bloodseeker, extra movement speed base, okay, he's going to be so fast actually, because his base movement speed is going to become 650. Now when he gets percentage based movement speed from Thirst, it's going to be based on his like 650 movement speed, not his like 365 movement speed. And he's going to get crits. And if Lycan and him are both slapping, they're just going to heal each other. It's actually pretty freaking cool, this game. I look forward to seeing it. A Bloodseeker is basically like a Lycan wolf anyways. Like, he should be a Lycan. Fight him already.
No, he's not.
Blood kills people.
There are many creatures that go after blood and kill people. In fact, that's how most people die, is because of something going for blood to kill them. Purge, please.
It makes sense.
I do like this item over here on Taiga. He does have the ninja gear, so he's going to have even better placement. In fact, as I say this, immediately mid one walking forward into so many people, force out the BKB. He's still ruptured, though. Does have to be careful. The Necro books, of course, just kind of running past him, trying to do some scouting.
Dark Portrait.
One held into place.
I kill no tail.
Yeah, might, as mid one is still just man fighting over here. And he goes down for the first time. No tail still running away from this Dark Portrait. He hates it, but more importantly, the real Wraith King goes down.
Dude, Insania is owning these fights. He just instantly makes a Dark Portrait. These things have 30% movement speed bonus, and he uses it to just instantly go for the backline. Breaking Blink Daggers with Radiance Burn, almost killing No Tail. Only reason No Tail lives is if he turns his ulti on, which gives him more movement speed. It's the only reason he's alive right now. So big fight there. Mid one did not expect to run into all of Liquid down there.
Hope not.
Yep.
But,
Big Foot buy something else. Give up on the Eggs. He bought Basher instead, it looks like. He changed his mind. Unfortunate. Not going to see Bloodseeker in his natural habitat. Instead, going the item that makes sense. Abyssal Blade's going to help them counter BKB heroes, basically. Help them chain initiate.
there is a Silver Edge completed as well on step now.
Okay.
Immediately
Yeah,
see
that'd
it,
be
obviously,
pretty good.
but
Break against Bloodseeker is very good.
Radiant are
But
scanning.
if he gets his BKB off, doesn't matter that much. But it's a nice item transition. Gives a lot of stats right now. Actually, no, it doesn't anymore. Is in. All right, less good than it used to be for first. Needs a way to initiate though. At some point in TK, you need a way to like jump in to make the fight go more straight. And he's gone all damage. Reality Rift pierces spell immune and bonus Chaos Strike chance. So he's just trying to get as much damage as possible here.
feels like this Wraith King has been dead for an eternity. Be back up in about 11 seconds, but the map has been just thoroughly covered here by the side of Liquid. They're moving together. And they're really trying to punish. In fact, look at this. Yeah, you can see the scouting coming out from the side of Liquid. They see Thompson over in the corner. Looks like he's going to be able to get out, though.
That's his only stun. So if he...
Again, this ninja
Pulls
gear
up.
just so value on this.
It's really good here. Just needs to be the guy that moves around and initiates. They've got Gem as well, so just should be utter map control. See if they find the one on the...
Well, they're hunting. A little bit of ships passing in the night as there's a smoke from the side of OG as well. They're hoping that this time they can get the initiation. No vision.
Roche could be up, so they're going to move over to the enemy high ground. If they control this area and they spot OG on the opposite side of the map, they could take Roche. If Roche respawns, it's up really fast, actually. It's a 30-second respawn. Pretty good for Liquid. If they push out the top lane, they spot enough OG heroes bottom. Can't just be one, though, because Cuddle can recall. But, oh, here's a Dark Portrait mid.
Dark Portrait over here on the Chaos Knight. The kick forward at the Rupture. BKB coming up, but they have the Abyssal Blade coming out here from Mickey. He's chomping down. Get the... Oh, the hammer gets dropped. Stadia just taking him out here as they chase after No Tail. No hope for him.
That's his dieback.
That is indeed. And look at the way that Liquid is just chewing through these buildings. Mid one jumping onto the back lines, going on to Boxy. The follow-up good Soulbind, though, will leash them together, hold them in place. Followed up with the Blood right here. Taiga rolling around. They have the BKB up and running over here onto mid one, but they still take down Thompson. He is going to buy back Gem over onto the ground. Mid one chonking away. Taiga's just going to roll on out, but they can go back in again. That stroke coming out. They have another Dark Portrait who's just running onto the back lines. This is looking like a first-time dead here for the side of this Wraith King, and it's looking like he's about to go down right here, right now. Double kill. Buyback coming out from Wraith King. He's got to be very careful. He can't afford a dieback.
They got to end the game.
They're going for it, Purge. They're going right for it. They've got the creeps.
Radiant structures.
And they've got the damage. By God, they're sending the boys out. Say, hey, get these guys off of our buildings.
Little scary for Liquid, but not terrible. Man, they're controlling Void Spirit so easy this
They
game.
got another Dark Portrait up.
Did they?
They're just, you know what? They're just painting portraits left and right. Mid one jumping in, though. Immediately the silence, the save coming out from Boxy. Trying to get them off of these buildings. It's just so hard. There's a big crit coming out here. Mickey backing off. They have the Abyssal Blade. They jump right back over onto Thompson. Mid one trying to put out as much damage. Can they kill Taiga? No, they have not been able to take him down just yet. Okay, now he does. He falls, but Boxy goes down. Thompson goes down. The buybacks are coming out. Boxy coming right back, and so is Taiga. Mid one, he's got that reincarnation again. Coming back up. Can they kill Koifa here? Stunned up. He's locked down. It's looking pretty good. He's trying to run. He cannot. Mid one gets himself a double kill. No buyback over here on this Lycan.
Okay, well, it ended up not being worth it. I'm sure they would have loved to take Mega Creeps. The tier 4 towers actually helped a lot there. They kept clearing the Dark Portraits. Dark Portraits take a lot of bonus physical damage, but they are magic immune. So every time you Dark Portraits and those get destroyed, it helps a lot. Then that tier 2 tower still being up makes a big difference. And Roche is up. I totally forgot about that. They definitely could just backed in Roche.
Buyback now.
Scepter.
Coming out from Koifa, they want this Roche. No Thompson for 80-something seconds.
They have to do this, because if they don't buy back Lycan, their opponents can maybe posture for it.
Mid
But
one.
now they have 5 heroes.
Mid one, he's in the pit. They see him. Not gonna jump on him just yet. They go, they put the Inkswell out. They'll just go turn around. They'll take down the Vision. Taiga, though, rolling forward here, does find Saksa. Mickey jumping over on him with the BKB almost immediately. Seb, and they go and they drop the hammer. Mickey searching, wants to try to take out Seb. They get a nice soulbind off with the Abyssal. Double Abyssal coming out now. It's beautiful as they go. They buy a little bit more time. They protect Mickey. Can they take them down? This is looking really good. Seb, he dies down. And now it's looking like they'll get Saksa. They'll wait patiently here for mid one. He's trying to run away. He cannot escape Liquid. They go and they banish him up yet again with the Meteor Hammer. No Tail tries to do anything that he possibly can to try to save his king, and he's not going to be able to. He goes down. No Tail gets taken down. Team wipe over on the side of OG.
And that is almost surely going to be the game. Unless Coddle can defend this by himself. We'll see. But
that was very
amazing game from
first.
Liquid. They got to be so amped with this game. They played it very well. They had great hero counters. And they had to win the series. This was their only chance to make it to the major, was winning this series, and they won it. So massive for them. That's going to give them tiebreaker advantage against OG, putting them at 3-3, I believe, with OG at 3-3. And OG's last series is going to be against Secret. It's going to be a hard one to win for OG. And is that Liquid's last game? No, they still play Alliance as well.